Get it. Leave other people to make their own health decisions. 304 Talk 304. Dave, pat on the back. Yes, a day off for mental health. Suck it up, buttercups. Dave, the NFL has had more vaccinated players get COVID proportionally than the non-vaccinated players. The vaccines really work, right? Question mark. Dave, why doesn't the state move 1 week from the summer break and create another week break for the school system sometime during January? 304 Talk 304. Dave, the Joe Manchin Love Fest every time you go to break cracks me up. That's not my department. Breaks are not my department. 304 Talk 304. Dave, teachers don't get paid for summer or Christmas breaks. Duly noted. 304 Talk 304. Dave, I wish these teachers would do their jobs and quit crying. That's what I signed up to do. They're off for the holidays and all summer. I wish we had as much time off as they do. 304 Talk 304. Let me see. Any more to get to? Dave, if WVU could make foul shots, the game would not have been close. Good point. Why was the WVU game called remotely? That trend had started even before the pandemic, and the pandemic accelerated it. Good show today. Well, at least I thought it was a good show. My thanks to Clayton Birch, Donna Peduto stopping by, Joe Bricata.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
Right now at noon, as more Omicron cases continue to rise across the nation, the FDA is considering booster shots for 16 and 17-year-olds. We have all you need to know coming up in a few minutes, but first, it's another winter-like afternoon as we inch closer to the weekend. So glad you could all join us for 7 News at noon. I'm Stephen Ruffing. Let's get a look at what's going on outside. This is over the Highlands, cloud-covered Highlands right now, and if you step out the door, below freezing out there. At least I think so. The man to tell me for sure joins us right now. Aaron Myler, what's going on out there?
You're right. It's below freezing, just by a degree or so, but we are still below freezing. Just overall, a cold day to start off your Thursday. It's not really starting off your Thursday. I don't know what I'm saying. Either way, it's cold out there. That's the main story for today, but it's going to change here shortly. I'll break that down in a minute, but 31 degrees outside right now. Really the same general temperature, give or take a couple degrees across the region. Carrollton, you guys are a bit cooler, 27, but most of us just sitting right around 32, right around the freezing point. Unfortunately, it's going to feel a bit colder when you step outside. 27 degrees is your feels like temperature here. Steubenville, you guys are up at 25, so it's going to just be cold either way. Unfortunately, the feels like temperature is what actually affect us more so with this, so not feeling great either. Clouds are not going to be moving out of the way, so you're not going to really get any break in the clouds. To have some sunshine to make it feel a bit warmer, it's just going to remain cloudy for the rest of your day here today. So we're going to continue with cold temperatures. We're going to continue with all of that for today. I'll break down the full forecast in a minute, but for now, let's send it back over to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Aaron. And we'll talk to you in a few. Our other top story, this New Martinsville police say they issued a warrant for a man after a drive-by shooting last night. Police say 2 men were chasing each other on the back streets of New Martinsville. One man fired a gun, hitting the car he was chasing on Cox Street and a vacant home. Authorities say they found shell casings on the street. No injuries were reported during the drive-by. Police say they have Ring doorbell footage. They say they're not releasing the name of the person with the warrant at this time. So make sure you stay with 7 News and WTRF.com for any updates. And this just in, this could be a big day for teens and parents in the fight against COVID and the Omicron variant. The FDA is considering whether to authorize booster shots for 16 and 17-year-olds. If that happens, about 8.3 million teenagers could become eligible. With CDC approval, those teens may be able to get a booster shot as soon as this week. More than 200 million Americans are now fully vaccinated, but barely 1/4 of those eligible have gotten a booster. We'll have a full look at this coming up later in our broadcast. Let's look in the Buckeye State now. Medical marijuana patients may soon be able to get more of the medication they need at one time. The state's Board of Pharmacy is currently considering a new resolution. Patients who use products with a higher THC content would be able to get a 90-day supply. The Sunnyside Dispensary in Wintersville calls this a good step forward. They explain medical marijuana products can't be broken up, therefore patients aren't able to make the medication last the entire 90 days.
At the end of the day, when this is approved, it's going to give a lot of relief for patients of not having to go back and forth to the dispensary, to get their medicine. They should be able to buy as much as they need for a 90-day supply without inconveniencing them. At the end of the day, this is medicine, and they should be able to get it the same way they can from any other pharmacy.
When this could take effect depends on the Ohio State Board of Pharmacy. Members will reportedly vote on the resolution at their December meeting. Another thing Ohioans can possibly look forward to is sports betting. A bill that would legalize the practice has just passed the Ohio State House. It now heads to the governor's desk, where he's expected to sign it into law. The Buckeye State will implement a 10% tax. Sports betting in Ohio will start no later than January 1st of 2023. Brooke County commissioners continue to move forward with their potential judicial annex. Last week, they accepted bids for construction of the project. Today, they're holding a special meeting to issue revenue bonds that will help finance the annex. The meeting is set for 5:15 tonight at the Brooke County Courthouse. We'll have the latest details coming up tonight on 7 News. Ohio County is now home to an award-winning EMA director. Lou Vargo was presented with a West Virginia Freedom Award. West Virginia Homeland Security Secretary Jeff Sandy announced Vargo as one of the 6 award winners. Vargo won the Leadership Award. Whether it's flooding or snowstorms, Vargo puts the public safety at the forefront. That stayed the same when COVID-19 hit the area. Vargo says it's all part of the job and never expects an award. Because of that, he says he's humbled. He tells us it's one of the best things to happen in his years of service.
Very humbled and honored that the governor and the secretary and the director have, given that award to me. It's a highlight of my career in the last 30 years here in Wheeling and Ohio County. I never, really think I deserve an award or anything like that, but when you do get it and you're honored by 3 of the greatest people that I know of in West Virginia who dedicate their lives in public safety to pick me out of 55 of my peers who, they dedicate their lives to their county and their citizens too. So yeah, it's very humbling to receive that.
Vargo also gives credit to his whole team, saying it takes a village to keep the community safe. He will also receive a freedom pin developed by Homeland Security Secretary Jeff Sandy. Sandy says they seek to recognize the commitment of emergency managers who go above and beyond to keep citizens safe. Listen to this. Brooke County Schools was among 3 districts in the entire state to receive the Purple Star Award. It's given to schools that go above and beyond, showing support for military children and their families. All right, the next time you go downtown to Vagabond Kitchen, you'll notice something new on their menu. It's called the Benefit Burger. They do one every month, and this time around, it's the Bigger Mac. It's a handcrafted version of the American classic, topped with a secret sauce. As tasty as it sounds, it's not really created to bring people in for them, but to help out a local charity. They picked a Special Wish Foundation.
Well, obviously kids are super important to me, and it's just, I think at the holidays especially is a time that we realize how important the little ones are in our lives and try to do something a little extra for them, even more so than we do the rest of the year.
I just want to say thank you to Matt and his team here at Vagabond Kitchen. Being in a position like this, you see how wonderful our community is. They're so generous, and right away they'll step up when we need help, and everything they do means so much to us.
Who else's tummy is rumbling right now? The Special Wish Foundation makes dreams of children facing life-threatening diseases a reality. A portion of the sales from the Benefit Burger is helping one of those kids. Such a good story. The holiday spirit is alive and well at Gold, Corey, and Turak. The local law firm is hosting its 19th annual Christmas tree lighting. That's tonight in Moundsville. The event will once again be online only. However, Old St. Nick will still be showing up for this special occasion. Now, one of our favorite community initiatives here at WTRF is back, our Remarkable Women campaign. They're everywhere, and we want to share their stories. Go to WTRF.com to nominate someone special in your life. We're looking for women who have made a tremendous difference in self-achievement, community contribution, and family impact. Nominations are open until the end of December. Now, Santa is coming back to the Ohio Valley to make sure all the good boys and girls get what they want on their Christmas list. He will be reading letters on TV during our Home for the Holidays, a Loving Living Local holiday special. That's coming up later this month. If you'd like Santa to read your child's letter on TV, head over to WTRF.com to learn more. All right, don't go anywhere. Aaron has some rain and warmer weather in your forecast. That's coming up right after the break.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gellner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gellnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
People moving out, people moving in. Why? Because of the color of their skin. Run, 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 but you sure can't hide. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Both for me, and I'll set you free. Rap on, brother, rap on. Well, the only person talking about love, now, brother, is the preacher. And it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher. Segregation, determination, demonstration, integration, aggravation, humiliation, obligation to our nation. Yeah. That's what the world is today.
Yeah, that's what the world is today. A ball of confusion. Now, if you're Bill DeFabio, I've lived in a ball of confusion all my life, it seems. I'm just confused. You agree with that, Lola?
Yes.
I knew you would say that. How is Lola today?
I'm all right.
You doing okay?
Cold.
Well, I was in your studio, and it's nice and warm in there.
Not really.
No?
Well, it's warmer in here than it is anywhere else, but
What, do you have a jacket on? I can't see you.
I have a jacket, a sweatshirt jacket, a sweatshirt, and a long-sleeve T-shirt, leggings, and a pair of pants.
Are you the same way at home, or are you nice and cuddly at home? You wear a lot of clothes at home? That's a
You
strange
have
question.
because I got my first winter gas bill yesterday, so I'm now officially working for Mountaineer Gas. And so, yeah, we dropped the thermostat down. And
I got the gas bill this morning. I didn't open it. I did open the water bill, and I think we used 9,000 gallons last month. 9,000 gallons. Remember, I have boys in the house. Not girls. Not girls. These boys take longer showers than I've ever witnessed in my whole world. You know, my whole life. But whatever. You know, and they're starting to give me some bucks. I'd write down all the utility bills. And I think it's Anthony. It's paying about for half. And Brian, who's saving about $600 a month because he's living at home. All right, he gives me a couple of bucks. All right. But you know what? You need utilities. I got to share this story with you, Lola, and the listeners. Twice in 12 days, I've had the plumber at my house, fixing leaky faucets, whatever, okay, repairing a toilet. Well, there was one leaky faucet in my man cave. I mean, it was only like a drip every 8 seconds. That's right, I timed it. So I called, and they said, we can send somebody out, take a look at it. Guy comes out, look at it, and he said, you know what? You're going to need a whole new faucet. Everything's rusty. So I figured if you can hang out, I'll go to Home Depot and get one. He said, you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you're going to get something plastic or whatever. We have, I forget the big name of it, Delta? Yeah. We have Delta in our store. Stainless steel. 2 years, we guarantee it. Lifetime guarantee. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So I'm thinking it's a couple of bucks.
Yeah, it's a couple hundred.
Yeah, I gave him a check, $309. His service was only about $108 or whatever. And the beautiful faucet, stainless steel, $162. Whoa. But
There's
whatever.
A sucker born every minute.
Yeah, but I didn't want to put something in there cheap. I'm not that cheap. When you have a house that was built in 1907, things are going to go wrong. Oh. I still can't get over the porch that cost me a few bucks, but that's okay. Now we have some roof leakage in the back. We got to take care of that in the spring. Hey, it wasn't meant to keep money. Okay, these are the headlines today. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to start to do it because I like to make changes. Changes. Headlines. WVU. Ooh, my. Big time win over number 15 Connecticut. All right. These are headlines, kind of teases. Bob Nutting. Yeah, he's making more money. He sold a big-time ski resort. I was there about 3 years ago. I mentioned Bob's name, and they charged me triple. No, I'm only kidding if you're listening, Bob. But I love going to Seven Springs. He no longer owns it. But he has spent some money elsewhere. We'll tell you about that. Okay, West Virginia, a big-time win. And I'm going to tell you about my new friend in Tennessee, who I was ready to yell at. Her name is Shirley. She works for West Penn Power, okay? Great story there, especially when she told me about a certain individual that I fell in love with as a kid. All that and coming up. Today we have the Grover talking about the Penguins at 12:35. Maybe he'll give us an update on Jake Getzel. He had, a 17-game consecutive where he scored a point or whatever. He's got a ton of goals, playing real well, and he got hurt. Upper body injury. I don't know if it's a broken hand or what. Maybe the Grover will give us an update. 105, Greg Brown to talk about Hall of Famers, okay? With a special guest while Mr. Brown is on the air with us. We had scheduled Ray Fittipaldo, but I think he's on his way to Minnesota. By the way, I forgot to tell Ray last night that they expect a snowstorm Friday morning, and that's when his plane leaves for Pittsburgh. But Jay Caulfield once told me, because his wife has in-laws he has in-laws in Minnesota, and he said they know how to handle blizzards, whatever, 8 feet of snow, unlike here in western Pennsylvania or, upper West Virginia. So I just hope that the guys, there's about 4 friends of mine going up there covering the game, they don't get stuck at the airport. And then we got the Three Stooges on, me, Ryan, and Josh at 2:05 to talk about local events, okay? And I got to get my thing out here. Well, we'll take a break. We have some sound for you, and I'll tell you about a tough loss for the Nailers last night. How do I know? Because DJ sent me a text like 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, DJ, for waking me up. We'll be back right after this.
This is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Talk Line. I have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
Babies come with lots of decisions. Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet? So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
It all comes down to this. Biden, Pelosi, and the extremists in Congress are on the verge of passing a multi-trillion-dollar spending spree, including taxpayer funding for abortion, even for painful late-term abortions. The only thing standing between us and their plans to bankrupt America and force West Virginians to pay for abortion is Senator Joe Manchin. Manchin is holding the line against their extreme socialist agenda. But Manchin is under incredible pressure from Washington liberals. Biden and Pelosi are intent on forcing West Virginians to pay for abortion on demand, even up to the moment of birth, when babies can feel excruciating pain. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 202-224-3954 and tell Manchin to keep standing strong. Stop their reckless spending and don't force West Virginians to pay for abortions. Paid for by Susan B. Anthony List.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Hi, it's Tony Caridi, host of the CityNet Statewide Sports Line right here on Metro News. Join the Senator, Brad Howe, Coach Greg Hunter, and myself as we discuss the day's biggest sports stories, talking with coaches, former players, and sports writers from all over the state and across the nation, bringing you the latest from the high schools, colleges, and the pro game. So don't miss the CityNet Statewide Sports Line weeknights at 6:06 here on the Metro News Radio Network and streaming live at WVMetronews.com.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
And you can take me on anytime you want. Who knows what'll happen, right? We've probably become good friends. 6-5 loss at Cincinnati. By the way, it was a 12:35 text. DJ didn't wake me up because I was watching the Celtics lose another West Coast game to the Clippers. 6-5 loss at Cincinnati. Ridiculous back and forth game. These two teams really hate each other with hate in capital letters. Yushi, remember him? Used to be a nailer. Guess what? He's in Cincinnati now. He scored a hat trick against his old friends and teammates. Oh, boy. He scored the tying and winning goals in the third period. Biff was telling me that in that game, the officials, and you hardly ever see this to do one team, back-to-back penalties. Come on. Let the guys play, you know? Let the guys play. And, of course, the big sports story around here took place in Morgantown. West Virginia upsetting the 15th-ranked Connecticut Huskies, 56-8, 56-53. I didn't realize it till I checked out the West Virginia basketball.com or whatever it is. I get all these messages. But the Mountaineers are 8-1. They've only lost one game, all right? Off to a good start. That may change when they play in the Big Ten. This was a Big 12, rather. Big 12, Big East matchup. You know, we got these all over the place. Pitt was playing an ACC Big Ten game not too long ago. So, but the regular season, you know, where you stay in your conference and play, it's coming up. So it's coming up. Now, since we're still on sports, some sound coming up for you. The Steelers are in Minnesota, and who knows? We got two teams here that I can't figure out. I can't figure out anything in the National Football League. I really feel like an idiot. I mean, look what happens. The Steelers get crushed in Cincinnati, come home, everybody, including yours truly, picking the Ravens to win, and they beat the Ravens, okay? I guess the Minnesota Vikings, they've lost a lot of close games. Rumor has it if they lose tonight, Mr. Zimmer, who's been there, 8 years, could be fired. Well, we haven't had a firing in, a week? But these are two struggling teams, and it's the National Football League where parity, you know, is with a capital P. You just don't know what to do as far as predictions are concerned. So I'm going to say this about tonight's game. The team with the most points will win. But as far as facing the Minnesota Vikings and participating in a short week, because these Steelers and T.J. Watt have only had 1 day of practice.
Try to approach each week the same. It's just on a short week. It kind of gets amplified a little bit more. That's why sometimes you kind of see the lopsided scores and stuff like that on Thursday games. But I just don't want to be on the wrong end of it, so I'm definitely going to over-prepare as opposed to just kind of sit back, relax, and only worry about my body.
By the way, he's only 6.5 sacks short of a record, okay? Remember, he had 3.5 against the Ravens. There's talk that he should not only be the defensive player of the year, but without the Steelers would probably only have a couple of wins. He means a lot to that Steeler team. He gets everybody pumped up 3 hours before the game. He's exciting. He's very good. But you know what? There's talk around the league. He could be a primetime candidate for MVP. Take that, Tom Brady. Of course, if Tom keeps throwing 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, he's going to win another award. He won an award earlier this week, the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Award. Second time he's won that. Only 3 players have won that, okay? So that is it. As far as the Vikings are concerned, they have a pretty good wide receiver. Last name is Jefferson. No relation to the president a long time ago. Mike Tomlin is watching this guy because he is a barn burner. Once he catches the football, he runs with the greatest of ease.
He's really challenging. He's an easy and fluid mover. He's got great vision. You know, his run after is exceptional because of that vision. You know, he's able to contort his body and adjust and make difficult catches seem easy.
I could do all that. Lola, I'm influent, right? What do you think?
Yeah, you're fluid, all right.
The Penguins will be playing the Washington Capitals without, I forgot his name already. I just mentioned it. Who's the little guy, number 14 or whatever? Lola, I just mentioned his name. What's wrong with me? I get these blanks once in a while. You ever get these blanks in your head?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Getzel, there you go. All right. Here is a guy, the hottest player right now in the league for the last 12 days. He has scored a ton of goals. He just had a hat trick a few days ago, and he's going to be out. Hopefully Bob Grove, who will be with us at 12:35, will give us an update on this, they call it upper body injury. You know, if it's his hand, yeah, that's upper body. I hate when teams say upper body, lower body. But, you know, it's like the FBI. You don't want to tell the enemy or the next team you're playing any secrets, okay? All right, and of course, if you're into local ownership that involves a billionaire named Bob Nutting, you may hate him, you love him, I respect him, billionaire. He just sold a place that I liked, been there a couple of times, took the missus there. She always wants to go there, but it takes me an hour and a half or 2 hours to get there, then I get lost. Seven Springs, what a beautiful place. Vail Resorts, they own about 37 resorts across 16 states and 3 countries. They just paid Mr. Nutting $125 million. I got a suggestion for Bob. Bob, if you're listening, I'd still like to have you on the show. I'll let you pick out the questions. I can do that. But, you know, the Nuttings earlier this month, I think it was 3 weeks ago, the Nutting family's Ogden newspapers based in West Virginia announced a deal to buy Swift Communications. What do I know about Swift Communications? That's why I have my handy-dandy Pittsburgh Post-Gazette this morning, because I paid $2.50 for it. Well, here's what you have to know about Swift Communications. That company owns a string of daily and weekly newspapers, magazines, and other media sorts in West Virginia, including the Aspen Times, Vail Daily. I mean, the Nuttings already own some newspapers all around the country. I'm only here till 3 o'clock. I don't have enough time to go over the Nutting resume, okay? But Seven Springs, you know, it's a great resort. Been there many times. The food, great, you know. Staying there is great, especially on a cold night. I think we stayed weekends. A couple times I was there, we stayed for long weekends. So, but that's been sold, and yeah, Bob, if you're listening, $125 million. Do you know how many good ball players you can buy for that venture or venue called the Pittsburgh Pirates? That's just my advice. No charge for my advice, but whatever. You can do whatever you want to do with your money, but I can make suggestions, all right? But that's the big news. Bigger than West Virginia beating Connecticut? Yeah, because it's front page of the Pittsburgh paper. Yeah. All right. Also coming up, when we talked to Lanny Fratteri, Biff was excited. First time I saw Biff read a newspaper, and it's the one I gave him. Front page of the Washington Observer, which is owned by Mr. Nutting. Once in a lifetime. It's 55 years ago, when I was 15, that Waynesburg State, I think it was called State back then, was playing in a national championship game. The NAIA championship game won by Waynesburg. So everywhere I look, everybody I've worked with in the Wild Things went to Waynesburg. And of course, their instructor was Lanny Fratteri, the former Pirate announcer. So I asked Lanny this morning, do some research, because I'm going to have you on to talk about the NAIA title of Waynesburg winning 55 years ago. Wow. Seems like yesterday. I remember that team. When we put them in the Western Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania State Hall of Fame, I was given a CD with that game on it. Kind of blurry because I think it was dubbed off of a Super 8 camera or whatever, but that was cool beans back then because we didn't have local teams winning championships. The Steelers sucked. The Pirates stunk. Pitt was not very good, but we had little Waynesburg College winning a national championship. Okay, all that and more coming up, okay? Should be an interesting afternoon. We try and make it interesting, informative. And by the way, tomorrow I'm bringing Freddie Stuback back as the Navy quarterback in 71-73. I know I had him on last week, but Ralph Sindrich took a lot of our time, so Freddie even asked, he said, I can come back and talk about Army-Navy, and I said, just a few minutes. That's coming up tomorrow. And we hope to have an update from Ray Fittipaldo. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck in Minnesota to talk about the Steelers' win or loss. Or maybe they'll play to a tie. Hey, the Vikings, you never know. Hey, the Lions beat the Vikings. So watch the Vikings crush the Steelers. And I'll come in tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon and say, there's that thing called parity. And you know who likes parity? Some guy named Roger Goodell and all those greedy NFL owners. Lola, let's take a break, and we'll be back with the Grover. He knows everything about hockey and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Carrie Hudasek. West Virginia American Federation of Teachers President Fred Albert says it's been a tough couple of years for teachers dealing with staffing shortages brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. He told state school board members Wednesday they need a break and that the board should grant them time off.
You are the leaders of public education in West Virginia, and they need to know that you are there to support them, that you understand that they're not just belly aching. These situations are real.
West Virginia Education Association President Dale Lee echoed the same message, calling for a mental health day during Wednesday's meeting. Gauley Bridge Elementary School in Fayette County will officially close its doors. The State Board of Education voted to approve the closure Wednesday. Board member Tom Campbell says the decision has a lot to do with declining enrollment.
If we had an expanding enrollment, we'd be in a different situation, but we don't. It's been declining for decades.
The board says Gauley Bridge will be consolidated with Valley PK through 8. State police are investigating a shooting in Mingo County. It happened Wednesday night at around 8:45 on East 4th Avenue in Williamson. It's unknown if anyone was hurt. No arrests have been made. A Doddridge County Sheriff's deputy is recovering today after being hit by a vehicle while at a traffic stop Wednesday. It happened on U.S. Route 50. And Governor Jim Justice holds a coronavirus media briefing this hour. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Attention all basketball fans, TBT is returning to Charleston. The city on Wednesday announcing for a second consecutive year, they'll host 3 regional rounds of the basketball tournament at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center this summer. Joe Burcato with Metro News Sports says 2 local favorites will be part of the action.
Heard that will be returning. West Virginia, much the same, and both of those teams already guaranteed in the field of 8 teams.
The tournament runs from July 24th to the 27th. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Carrie Hudasek.
Hi, this is Stacy Spry from Spry's Mail Center Plus. It's that time of year to get your packages to your loved ones for the holiday. We send UPS, FedEx, DHL, and the United States Post Office. We're also the official shipper for Ohio Valley favorites like Patsy's Pizza, Figueretti Spaghetti Sauce, Jebbia's Fruit Baskets, and Coleman's Fish. Just give us a call and we'll make all the arrangements. As always, we do copies, faxes, emails, scanning, mailbox rental, and much more. Once again, we're teaming up with WKKX for Letters to Santa, so have your kiddos stop by with their letters to read on air by Santa himself. For any shipping or office needs, call me, Stacy Spry, at 304-232-1885. And finally, thank you for giving my family the pleasure of serving you and your family for over 14 years. Happy holidays from all of us at Spry's Mail Center Plus.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street, or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
It all comes down to this. Biden, Pelosi, and the extremists in Congress are on the verge of passing a multi-trillion-dollar spending spree, including taxpayer funding for abortion, even for painful late-term abortions. The only thing standing between us and their plans to bankrupt America and force West Virginians to pay for abortion is Senator Joe Manchin. Manchin is holding the line against their extreme socialist agenda. But Manchin is under incredible pressure from Washington liberals. Biden and Pelosi are intent on forcing West Virginians to pay for abortion on demand, even up to the moment of birth, when babies can feel excruciating pain. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 202-224-3954 and tell Manchin to keep standing strong. Stop their reckless spending and don't force West Virginians to pay for abortions. Paid for by Susan B. Anthony List.
You make 35,000 decisions every day. Are your gambling decisions good ones? If you struggle with a problem with gambling, call 1-800-589-9966 for free confidential support. Do you have a loved one who struggles with a problem with gambling? This 24/7 helpline also provides resources on how to support a loved one who may need help. Call 1-800-589-9966 or visit beforeyoubet.org.
My son is not some statistic.
My daughter's not a headline.
My girl, she's not someone's agenda.
What she is irreplaceable. COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since the start of summer.
So I talked to my daughter's doctor about COVID vaccines.
And she said they're highly effective in preventing hospitalizations and deaths, even from the Delta variant.
We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talkline. We'll talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia, top political figures, sports personalities, sometimes just plain folks, offering their opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Now in the street there is violence, and lots of work to be done. No place to hang out or washing, and then I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
Well, you know, sometimes they name streets, schools after famous people. I bet you out there in the Ohio Valley didn't know that Elm Grove was named after my next guest, Bob Grove. Did you know that, Bob? Come on, I got you to laugh, right?
You got me to laugh. Yep, absolutely. So
All right.
it's all good.
Okay, yeah, it is all good. I got a lot of friends on Elm Grove since I moved down here. Not moved, but worked down here. Hey, listen, Jake Getzel, I mean, this guy was lights out for what, a couple of weeks? He had a 13-game point streak, I think 13 or 14. That included 11 goals, a hat trick against Vancouver. Now, he gets hurt, right, the other day, all right? And he went back on the ice and scored a couple of goals. Of course, Mike Sullivan won't say anything about upper body or lower, well, upper body. But what is it, an elbow, a hand? What's the latest, if you can help us out on it?
Well, I mean, I don't have any inside information. As you know, hockey teams, as you just described, and coaches are reticent to really go there outside of whether players have a concussion and they're in concussion protocol. But, I mean, the obvious leap for anybody who's watching the Penguins is that he blocked a shot with his, he got hit in the hand with a shot, and that's probably what it is. So, I mean, we'll just have to. I got to be honest with you. I know fans, they get caught up in what's wrong, what exactly is wrong, and I just don't. He's out.
Yep, he's out.
Be out till he's out until he's back, and it really doesn't matter to me why he's out too much. It's just he's out, and if you're a fan, I think your concern should be that the team feels like he's. Any player who's hurt has rehabbed whatever the injury is to the point where, they're not rushed back and they're coming back. They're ready to play when they come back. And I think that's the key thing. But, his absence is a huge blow to the Penguins. 12 goals in 12 games is what he had. It's a point streak, as you mentioned, 13.
Yeah.
He's absolutely on fire, and they're going to miss him.
Yeah. Speaking of people returning, what's the update on Malkin? Isn't he due to come back soon?
Well, yeah, they had said all along they felt it would be sometime in December probably. And, he's been skating now with the team in practices for about a week. He's been in a no-contact jersey. I didn't hear if he skated in a in a jersey that allows him to have contact today. But that's the way they progress these things. You skate on your own. Then the next step is you start skating with the team. In their regular practices in a non-contact jersey, and then the next step after that is you're in practices with the team in a jersey that you can now take contact, and the step after that is you're in the lineup. So Malkin is getting close, pretty much by any way you look at this. I think he's getting close to coming back. I can't speculate on whether that could be Friday in Washington, which I sort of doubt, or Saturday at home against Anaheim. But, I'm thinking in the next week or two he's going to be back.
You know who got fired on this date in 1999 for the Penguins?
Kevin Constantine.
Yeah, very good. And who'd they replace him with? I got him, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
don't know. I can't even remember. So the coaching carousel. Oh, well, that was Herb Brooks.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I got you, Grover.
Yeah.
I thought I got
Herb
you.
Brooks.
That's
yeah,
okay.
Herbie came back, and he changed the whole. He changed the whole way that like under Kevin Constantine. Well, let's remember how he came into it. Kevin's a good coach.
Yep.
Kevin Constantine came in. Mario had retired. Kevin Constantine came in, so they were no longer going to be the run-and-gun Penguins. Then he got them to play much more solid defensive hockey, and they really did that very, very well in his time with the team. They didn't always score as much as they needed to, but yeah, when he left, Herb Brooks took the wraps off that and said, let's not try to prevent stuff as much as let's make things happen at the other end of the ice. And that served the Penguins, fairly well for the rest of that season and into a couple of rounds of the playoffs before they collapsed and lost 4 straight to the Flyers in the second round. So, and we all remember Herbie's time here for sure.
Yeah, did you like the movie with Kurt Russell playing Herbie Brooks?
Yeah, it was great. It was terrific.
I thought it was unbelievable. I watched that over and over again, especially the speech in the locker room,
Yeah.
And I'm a big Kurt Russell fan. I used to belong to the Mickey Mouse Club, and he was a Musketeer. You didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
Yeah, we both had those ears, yeah? Look where he is and look where I am. Well, that's okay. I'm happy where I am. Also, he was in a lot of Disney movies. He's one of those child actors. The guy Dennis the Menace, you remember him? Well, when he grew up, he couldn't get any jobs. Same with Beaver, These child actors,
Yeah, it's true for a lot of child actors, and it's really difficult. What's put on them at an early age is not surprisingly hard to handle for them later in life.
But Kurt Russell, man, he's still making movies, directing, producing, and everything. And there was another child actor when he grew up. You never heard from him again. Oh, Timmy from Lassie. You know why I watched Lassie? As a kid, I loved Timmy's mom. Then I saw her in Lost in Space. I fell in love again.
Yeah, June Lockhart.
Yeah. Oh, man, are you good? You're really
well,
good.
No, I just remember that show I watched that show as a kid, too. So,
You watch Lassie?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about the Beav? Leave It to Beaver.
Absolutely.
Okay. My favorite, and I still watch it, Rifleman.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm watching Perry Mason. I watched Perry Mason yesterday. Guess who had about a 20-second appearance on one of his courtroom dramas? Clark Gable. How about that?
Yeah.
A lot of those stars that became stars got a first start with The Twilight Zone, Perry Mason. Oh,
sure.
Boy. All right, I like to go down memory lane. All right, I don't want to go too far back. The Penguins, 25 games played, 12, 8-5, 29. I think they could play better, but they could also play worse. They're in the middle of the pack. Are they in pretty good shape?
Well, they're in a playoff position, and that's the first thing you got to think of because, this Pittsburgh team is, look at the Metropolitan Division is incredible. I mean, the Capitals are, everybody knew the Capitals would be good. The Capitals are tied for the best record in the league. I don't think anybody was ready for that to happen. And then the Rangers have been pretty much lights out. Now, they got lit up last night by Colorado, but they've been really, really good. And Carolina, as expected, has been good. So, the Metropolitan Division is chock full of really good teams. And the Penguins are sitting, they're in a wild card position. And here's the thing, Bill, you got to remember that where they're at and who's been hurt. They've played. Now, the Penguins have played, 25 or 26 games. I think it's 25 games. Yeah. Okay, so 80% of those games, 80% of those games, they have been missing at least 2, if not 3, of their top 6 forwards. So we're talking about the time. Obviously, Malkin hasn't played. Brian Rust has missed half the season. And Sid missed a bunch of games. And Gensel missed the opener. I mean, they have played most of the games without they have missed significant people up front, and they're still sitting in a playoff position. So, for me, by extension, if Malkin comes back and Rust and Gensel, you're saying, okay, they're not perfect. They're still not a Stanley Cup favorite or anything like that, but they're a playoff team.
Yeah. Let's put a smile on Lola Miller's face. Are you ready? Her Detroit Red Wings have the same amount of points as the Penguins, 29.
Yes, we do. We're tied for the
Yeah,
wild
no,
card.
Detroit's. Yeah, no, I really like what Steve Eisman will. We know that he will bring patience to the equation in Detroit for sure, and they have. Look, I mean, they've been bad enough now for a few years that they've had these. Well, this is how it works, though, Bill. This is how you rebuild, right?
I know.
You know, they got Lucas Raymond has been lighting it up for them. We know Dylan Larkin, but then Maurice Sider, the young kid, he's been really good. Now, I know he got hurt the other night. I thought he got hurt, but Suter's been good. They have some pieces in place, and I'm glad to see that they're getting back to being more competitive.
All right. Thank you, Lola. She just gave me a $10 bill so we talk about her Red Wings, okay? But
Yeah, but I want change back. That's the thing.
Oh, it's in the mail. I'll send it to you. Yeah, Detroit. I checked them out because it's Lola's favorite team. You like them better than the Lions, don't you, Lola?
Well, I'm a bigger hockey fan than it. I mean, I love football, baseball, and hockey, but hockey is my sport.
Yep. Okay.
So
they're doing well.
If I could only pay attention to one Detroit team, it would be the Red Wings.
Okay. All right. I got to ask you this because I think Barry Trotz, one of my favorite all-time interviews in hockey, really cool guy. Is he in trouble? His Islanders are 6-10-5, 17 points. Is he in trouble?
I hope not, because he's a terrific coach. He's absolutely a terrific coach. And look, if you look at the Islanders, they're the biggest surprise of all because they recently just broke. I mean, what did they lose? 10 in a row?
Yeah.
No, it's more than that. 13 in a row with some loser points in there, and before they won the other night. But COVID just took their whole season and derailed it. I mean, it's just, if you remember, they had to get games postponed that still haven't been made up.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't even practice. And so we talked at the beginning of the season about how teams handle COVID is going to be a factor, and the Islanders, for me, are Exhibit A in that, and it just totally took their team and just stalled them. And they're I mean, it's going to be a huge uphill climb for them to even make the playoffs now, and many people had them potentially winning the division and making a stronger run at the Cup. They've had some injuries too. I mean, they've also had some injuries, but I hope he's not in trouble because his track record is, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they fire him today. He gets a job tomorrow. Speaking of jobs, are there any more firings? How many have we had already? 2 or 3?
Well, there have been a number. Joe Quenneville left Florida early, and that was really because of his days in Chicago. But Derek King is the new coach in Chicago because Jeremy Carlton was fired. That was about, a month ago. And then just recently, Mike Yeo, the new coach of the Flyers, because Elaine Vigneault is out, and Bruce Boudreau is coaching in Vancouver because Travis Green is out. And you usually get a little bit of a bump with these. Like Vancouver got a little bit of a bump with the coaching change. The Flyers did not. Mike Yeo was already an assistant. And, he's, an assistant here in Pittsburgh, already coached in Minnesota, et cetera. The Flyers have gotten no bump. They've lost both games they've played since the coaching change, and they are in deep trouble.
Yeah. One of my good stringers, so to speak, one of my Steeler and Steiders is in Minnesota, and that's Ray Fittipaldo. And I see that hockey team is leading the way in the Central Division in the Western Conference.
Minnesota's been terrific this year. I mean, I think a lot of people, at least I saw a lot of observers really who felt that Minnesota could be a year where that team takes the next step. They've been good. They've been mediocre to pretty good for a number of years, but then they always fall in the playoffs. But once they got Kaprizov re-signed, and he got off to a slow start, and now he's just lighting it up. And Zuccarello was hurt, and he's back. They play with speed. They have a decent amount of skill as well, and they just beat Edmonton the other night. Looked great doing it. So yeah, they look like a team that this year maybe is ready to make some noise in the playoffs.
What's the news with Arizona? They might be locked out because they owe the city of Phoenix or whatever a lot of tax money, like a couple of million, and they may have to force the Arizona to play somewhere else.
Well, they've known from this past summer that they were told their lease was not going to be renewed. So they've known for a while now that they have to find another place to play. And it's almost, I mean, I shouldn't be laughing because
No,
if you're
it's sad.
if
It's
you're a
sad.
hockey fan in Arizona, this has been a soap opera almost since the day they got there. And the arena's just in the wrong section of town, and now that so unless something changes, then they can keep the lease. They want to build their own building, but they haven't drawn, and they haven't had a team that's good enough to get people excited. So it's a chicken and egg argument to some point. Like, are they not drawn because they haven't been good, or which came first? Is there enough interest in general? Because remember, you got a guy like Austin Matthews in Toronto, who you could argue is the best finisher in the entire National Hockey League, and that's where he grew up in Arizona. Do they have enough fan base to fill a building? Are the owners, do they have deep enough pockets? I don't have satisfactory answers to any of those things. I mean, quite frankly, I think this is probably a market that the NHL shouldn't be in. But we'll see if this ownership group can get them guided in the right way and find out what their future looks like.
Could they possibly move down the road? Not down the road in Phoenix. I mean, just move to another city.
Well, anything's possible. But, the NHL and Gary Bettman are really, really reluctant to do that unless they have investigated 100 other options and none of them work. But that's sort of the road that Arizona's on right now. Like, some people want them, the league to go back to Quebec, and they've got a relatively brand new arena sitting there. And I just don't get the feeling that that's something the NHL is pursuing right now.
Yeah. Speaking of the NHL, I guess as we speak, I don't know if it's in New York or what, the owners are going to either okay or not okay. I think it's a slam dunk. It's okay for the Fenway Group to buy the Penguins. But I guess they got to meet and make it final.
Well, the NHL has to approve the sale, absolutely. But it's just this is a formality. $900 million for that franchise. Yeah, that's a good move for the league.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I got an idea. The guy down the street that owns newspapers and everything, he owns the Pirates. He just sold Seven Springs for $125 million. He should buy himself a hockey team. There you go. He's got newspapers out there.
He's got enough challenges with his baseball club, I believe.
Well, I started the show with, Bob, I know you're not listening to me. Maybe he is, but he's not going to take my advice. He don't care about me or the media or whatever. Take some of that $125 million and spend it on a baseball team called the Pirates. But nobody listens to me, Bob. It upsets me. I want to cry all the time.
Yeah, well, you'll be fine. But a lot of people agree with you that he's just, his pockets are deep. But when you compare him with the other MLB owners, they're not deep enough.
No. Not when you got zillionaires out there. Finally, I really like the coverage of ESPN because for years, Sid could score 6 goals, and you might be lucky to get a 10-second video of that. LeBron James picks his nose, he's on there for 3 minutes because of all the NBA coverage. Now that ESPN has the National Hockey League, I'm seeing more updates with all the games. I love it.
Well, I'm glad that you do, and certainly this would be expected. You want to have your news programs promote the product that you're televising, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I love it.
That's a no-brainer. I can't really comment because I don't watch ESPN, and because, quite frankly, whatever more coverage you're getting from their news program, I'm not doubting you for 1 second. In fact, I'm sure that that's true. But it's a tenth of what they give everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Not
even,
I mean,
you're being nice, 1/10, yeah.
I'm not going to, me personally, I'm a hockey fan first, okay? And I'm not going to wade through 55 minutes of NBA and MLB and NFL to hear 5 minutes of NHL news that I already know. I'm just not going to do it. Yeah. And I don't want to dump on them because, I know, they have very talented people there, and Butchergross and some of those guys, and Linda Cohn, who are terrific. They've been hockey fans forever.
Yes.
And, they bring, and I've heard, Butchergross call games. He does a great job. Linda does she knows the game. I just, I'm not expecting the NHL on ESPN to get parity with these other leagues because, quite frankly, these other leagues have more fans. They do. Yeah. But my sense is it's still not enough to bring me into watching SportsCenter on a regular basis yet. Maybe they'll get there.
Yeah. You know who I miss? 2 Mikes, Mike Milbury and Mike Emmert. I miss them.
Yeah, well, I mean, Doc is he's an icon. He's fantastic. Yeah. I don't really miss Milbury too much.
Well, okay. I like controversy, you know?
Well, if you like controversy, he'd be your guy.
Yeah. Well, I like Don Cherry, too.
Yeah.
I like those sports coats. I'd love to have some of those sports coats. He reminded me of Bob Prince and Lindsey Nelson when I was a kid. All right. Hey, I never asked you, what school did you attend? Not high school, but college?
Penn State.
Okay. All right. Penn State. I like to remember this. Okay. All right, Bob. I had about 4 or 5 questions. You've answered all of them. I'm impressed that you and I have something really in common. We both like Lassie. You like the dog. I like Timmy's mom. So, you know.
There you go.
And you can check out Lassie on MeTV. I love MeTV, you know. I really do. All right. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Bill. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I thought he went to Point Park. Okay. Boy, Penn State's hockey team's doing okay. You know? You mentioned hockey, people at University State College. What? Hockey? Yeah. Also very good in volleyball. Football team? Whatever. What are they, 7-4? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, well, we covered the Penguins. We've covered Detroit. Yeah, Lola's Red Wings, same amount of points as the Penguins, 29. Things can only get better for Detroit. Same with Pittsburgh. If they can keep everybody healthy and get Malkin back, they should be okay. But tomorrow night will be a big test for the Penguins. They play the Washington Capitals. A lot of people said, they're old. They're too old. They're too old. They're not going to win. Well, right now, of course, things could change in a month or a couple of weeks. They are atop the Metropolitan Division, and they're tied with Florida with 38 overall points. But, you know, Sid, Ovechkin, doesn't get any better than that. Reminds me of the NBA and, you know, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. Oh, man, I miss those days. And to be honest with you, I don't watch too much NBA. I don't see a whole lot of passing. Everybody's got to shoot the three. I watched it last night as the Clippers killed the Celtics. Everybody was shooting a three. Come on, pass the ball around. Pass it inside. Just my comment. Boy, we'll be back with the voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Greg Brown, right after this.
No place to hang out or washing, and then I can't blame all on the sun. Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The FDA giving the green light to expand COVID booster shots for more teens. The CDC still needs to give the final thumbs up.
A little under a month after boosters were approved for all adults, now the FDA giving the green light to Pfizer boosters for 16 and 17-year-olds. Recent data showing the booster shot can significantly increase antibodies to fight the Delta and Omicron variants. It's unclear if or when boosters will be approved for younger children. Children as young as 5 just started getting their first 2 shots of Pfizer. Alex Stone, ABC News.
New York State's Attorney General pushing to depose former President Trump next month in connection with a fraud investigation.
A source familiar with the matter told ABC News New York Attorney General Letitia James has requested to take former President Trump's deposition January 7th as her office conducts a civil investigation into whether the Trump Organization committed financial fraud when it valued its real estate holdings. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is considering whether the former president should face criminal charges over property valuations. The aspirational deposition was first reported by the Washington Post. Trump has denied wrongdoing and previously attacked the investigation as a witch hunt Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
AG James announced today she is suspending her run for New York governor and instead says she'll run for re-election. The Senate is taking up a test vote this hour to begin the process of raising the debt limit. At least 10 Republicans need to vote with all Democrats to get it passed and avoid the government from going into default December 15th. It follows a measure that passed in the House. In Minnesota, testimony continues today in the trial of the former police officer Kim Potter charged with shooting and killing Daunte Wright. Jurors today hearing testimony from Wright's girlfriend and passenger in the car last April when Officer Kim Potter says she grabbed her gun by mistake instead of her taser and ended up killing Wright. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you want to be a hero for the holidays? How about getting your loved one a new iPhone? That's right. Pure Talk has iPhone 12 starting at just $479 through the end of the year. And sure, they have 13s too. Switch to Pure Talk. Great nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. Now that's just smart. There's no need to overpay for Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Plus, with Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. And like I said, the iPhone 12, just $479. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Plus, save on a new phone. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
Texas officials trying to head off a power disaster like the one that left millions in the dark last February.
The Electric Reliability Council of Texas is the nonprofit that operates the power infrastructure here. And 10 months after the system's meltdown,
the ERCOT grid is stronger and more reliable than ever.
Peter Lake chairs the Public Utility Commission of Texas. And after months of fortifying the system against another weather event, Lake promises that
the lights will stay on.
Critics, including gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke, say not enough has been done to head off another disaster. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Workers at 3 Starbucks stores in the Buffalo, New York area casting ballots on forming a union. Buffalo News reporter Matt Glenn has been following the story and says the company has clashed with organizers about how the National Labor Relations Board will count the votes.
The workers who were pushed for the union want these 3 stores to vote individually so that the tallies will count store by store. The company actually was asking the NLRB to open it up to the workers of all 20 stores in the area and to count all those votes as one. But in the end, the NLRB sided with the union's approach on this.
A yes vote could start a drive to unionize more company locations. The bronze statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee that sat in Charlottesville, Virginia for nearly a century will now be melted down. An African-American museum will turn the melted bronze into a new piece of public art. This is ABC News.
With just one spray of Microban 24, your hard surfaces are sanitized for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch after touch.
So 6 hours from now?
Still sanitized.
12 hours?
Yep.
18 hours.
We're really doing this.
24 hours.
When used as directed, one spray of Microban keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria touch after touch for, up to 24 hours.
Wow.
Microban 24. The sanitizer 4 out of 5 doctors would use in their own homes. So why aren't you?
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN.
I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network. Ohio's total deaths from the coronavirus are now at 27,011, according to the State Department of Health. That's 7,000 deaths in the last 6 months. There are about 4,300 people hospitalized for COVID in Ohio, the highest since January. Nearly 700 of them are on ventilators. The Omicron variant has been found in 50 countries and at least 20 states. Ohio is not yet one of them. Charges have been filed against a middle school teacher at Southwestern City Schools in the Columbus suburb of Grove City for allegedly having sex with a student for several years. Yolanda Harris with ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus reports.
According to court documents, Norton Middle School language arts teacher Benjamin Rutan is charged with 2 counts of sexual battery and 1 count of unlawful conduct with a minor. The documents state between 2013 and 2018, Rutan began a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old girl. The victim said they had sex multiple times a week for 5 years, many times on school property. The district says Rutan is on paid administrative leave. I'm Yolanda Harris.
A significant warm-up begins tomorrow in Ohio. The National Weather Service says Ohio is in line for a week of temperatures of 50 and up. Even a couple of days in the 60s are possible in many areas. For more state news, go to ONNradio.com. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News.
304-214-1600. Call the Watchdog with your thoughts. We'll be right back to Local Talk.
Toyotathon is on, making now the best time to reserve one of the all-new additions to the 22 Toyota lineup, like the first ever Corolla Cross, with available all-wheel drive and more space and efficiency than ever, or the all-new redesigned Tundra with uncompromising full-size power. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. But hurry, Toyotathon ends January 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
From the Watchdog, here is your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Clouds will be on the increase throughout the day with a high of 44. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 35. And for your Friday, expect cloudy conditions with the chance of afternoon showers and a high of 58. And that's your local weather forecast from the Watchdog.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, the Watchdog.
Always a pleasure to introduce this next guest who I've known for a long time. Gentleman, scholar, one of the better baseball announcers around. Did I say all the right things, Mr. Brown?
So far, keep going. I'm not in a hurry.
Good family man. He likes horses. He probably misses talking about baseball right now because you can't really say anything or do anything. But, you know, this is the time of the year I really like baseball, when we hear about all the rumors with free agents and trades and stuff. But we can talk about this. Coming up in late January, the Hall of Fame, Cooperstown, they'll be waiting. Hopefully, though, last year we didn't have anybody in, right?
Correct.
Didn't they take like a hiatus or whatever.
Yeah.
17 holdovers. Is that a 3, Bill, or an 18? Hold on. That's a 3. 13 newcomers. My question to you is, he's been on the ballot 10 times. Could this be the year for Barry Bonds?
Well, I think it will be. I think Bonds will get in. I think Curt Schilling will get in, despite Schilling's comments a couple of years ago about he wouldn't even. I think he said he wouldn't even accept it if he got in. He made some derogatory remarks, but I think they'll get. I think Clemens could get in. I do. I think that Bonds has kind of, in this is in air quotes, paid his dues, with having spent all the time kind of in limbo. And I think, time is another example, Bill, of time heals all wounds in society. And it's certainly true in baseball. I mean, if Alex Rodriguez can be a top announcer in Major League Baseball on ESPN and Fox, and be welcomed back into the good graces of the broadcast industry, then my goodness, why can't Barry Bonds? And a current Giant pitcher I saw the other day made a pitch. Alex Wood, who just signed an extension, he made the case, and this is not newsworthy necessarily, but that we don't know who used steroids. Nobody knows. And we certainly know that there are guys that are in there now that may not have been proven, but they were steroid users. So why not, let Bonds in, who, as we've said time and time, I've said time and time again, if you had injected every Major League Baseball player with the same dose of steroids that Bonds supposedly injected himself with over a 5-year span, give every Major League Baseball player the same amount, the same dosage, the same time, do a test and give each one the same amount, Bonds would still be the best of all of them. It's frowned upon, obviously. It's a bit of a scar maybe on him, and to a degree some of the players. But every era in baseball and in sports has their guys over the years, and you can say maybe men and women that weren't necessarily saints when they were elected into their halls of fame. And I don't think this is any different.
Yeah, I don't think so either. A year ago, you got 61%, almost 62% of the votes. What do you need, 75 to get in?
I believe it's 75 or 73, but anyway, it's right around there.
Yeah. They wouldn't put Ortiz and Rodriguez in on their first year, would they?
I doubt it. I think that these guys will have to, especially if Bonds and Clemens and Schilling get in. I think that there's still I don't know. I don't vote, which, by the way, is a joke.
Whoa! I thought you did vote.
No, it's a joke. There are guys, Bill. There are guys, and I won't name names. You can look them up.
Okay.
There are guys that have not covered Major League Baseball for years, going on decades. Writers who still vote for the Hall of Fame. And you have no idea. And the reason I say that it's a joke that I don't vote, and I mean guys like me. I've been doing this now to be 29 years as the Major League Baseball play-by-play broadcaster, which, that's what, second all-time in the 137-year history of the Pirates, play-by-play guys. And I'm saying that not to boost my ego at all. I'm saying it because how can a guy like that, take my name out of the equation? Just look at the resume. And how can a guy like that not, other guys in baseball who've been with their teams or broadcasting longer than I don't vote. Marty Brenneman, who retired a couple years ago, don't have a vote. Steve Blass doesn't have a vote. It's a travesty that we watch these guys every day and don't vote.
Yeah,
but,
I got the names in front of me. All these guys belong to the Baseball Writers Association?
Well, you see the guys that vote?
Yeah, I have them right here.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but I don't want to.
No. You can't say.
Their fault.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not their fault. I mean, heck, they got to vote. What are they going to say? No, I don't. Well, they could, I guess. They could
by rights, and really, I guess it's kind of the honor system. If they're not watching games on a daily basis, they should probably alert the Hall of Fame that they're not, an expert in the field, and because they haven't for a long time watched the game enough, maybe they shouldn't vote. I don't know how that's handled.
Wow, I know a lot of these guys. I think there's a lot of them not even working.
And then but there are probably a lot of guys that do intently. I mean, I can think of a couple that I know that still vote, who I know are still great fans and watch the game. Okay. But I still think that if you really want to do it right, why wouldn't you have guys that have been following the game and see it live in person every day for decades? Why don't they vote? It's a joke.
Well, you and Blast should. That's a no-brainer,
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not. I didn't want to put myself in the equation, but
I can do that. Go ahead.
Well, it's just the point of someone that's been doing this for such a heck. I don't know that. To be honest with you, I shouldn't say this because I don't know this for a fact. I don't think Vin Scully ever had a vote for the Hall of Fame.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Jeez. No, I don't see his name on here at all. Okay.
Oh, you have all the names of the guys that vote?
Yeah, I got them right here. Yeah, there's like 3 columns of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
So I guess no broadcaster then is on that list, I would think.
No, I don't see any. No. That would stick out like a sore thumb. Broadcasters should be included. Is this a fair way of picking a class, or should we get ex-managers or players like a Jim Leland on that committee or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too. That's a great point. I would think that, heck, if anybody knows who a Hall of Famer is, it's Jim Leland.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you want him? It would make it even more credible. Jim Leland, I don't know. I don't think Bob Costas is a voter. Now, Costas did vote, I believe, for the recent, I think he's on that panel, which is an interesting thing. They did, Danny Murtaugh missed out again this year, but they voted in a handful of guys the other day. Murtaugh missed, former Pirates manager, but they brought in, I think, Jim Cott and Gil Hodges and Tony Oliva, Vinny Minoso, and Buck O'Neill were voted in that small committee of former players, I guess. And I think I know Costas is on the list of the broadcaster Ford Frick Award winners, and that was just named the day before yesterday. Jack Graney was the former Indians broadcaster years ago, and Costas hasn't voted that, which makes a lot of sense. But still, guys that watch the game every day and are students of the game, I think should have a vote.
Yeah, I do too. Hey, you know what? Can we take a short break?
Sure.
Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Hey, we got to get you and Blast in here for a 3-hour show, okay? Together. We'll have fun. I'll give you the Wild Things number 21 jerseys. I got one for you that I've been saving. I got one for Steve Blast. You know what I want in return, right?
Yes, I do. I've got it right here. I'm looking at it.
Okay. All right. And then we'll have dinner afterwards. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. Let's take a break. Greg Brown, the voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates and a good friend of about 40 years, 30 years? I don't know. I don't keep track of that. I know when I first met him, I had a full head of hair. That's all gone. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talk Line. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, the Watchdog.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
Toyotathon is on, making now the best time to reserve one of the all-new additions to the 22 Toyota lineup, like the first ever Corolla Cross, with available all-wheel drive and more space and efficiency than ever, or the all-new redesigned Tundra with uncompromising full-size power. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. But hurry, Toyotathon ends January 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
our family to yours. Season's greetings.
This is Biff from the Watchdog, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the Watchdog. AM 1600 WKKX and AM 1370 WVLY.
Some people think I'm crazy, which I am. I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid, but I like doing this. All right? We have a special guest on line number 2 that later on we're going to talk about Waynesburg winning a national championship. Lanny, how are you?
Hey, Bill, thanks for asking me to be on and for the opportunity to showcase Waynesburg football. By the way, I thought maybe you'd call me and ask me about the baseball lockout.
Well, I guess who I have on the other line that you're going to say hello to. Say hello to Greg Brown. Greg Brown, Lanny Fratteri. I think you guys know each other.
Lanny.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Lanny, a classic Bill DeFabio move, by the way. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Greg, I hope everything's well with you and the family, and Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah,
okay. You too, Lanny. Likewise. Great talking with you.
Lanny, of course, you've watched football for a long time. By the way, Lanny, after the news break, we'll talk about the Waynesburg story that's very popular because 55 years ago, your school, where you're employed, and by the way, I'll tell you how many of your employees, how many of your students worked for me at the Wild Things, and we got a couple of them working at a TV station down here. So we'll take that after the break. Is that all right with you?
Oh, that's fine, Bill. Thanks again for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Okay, 17 holdovers, 13 newcomers. I asked Greg this. He thinks this might be the year Barry Bonds getting in. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I've got to tell you that the whole Baseball Hall of Fame thing is frustrating to me because, if you look at the NFL, they have a minimum number of players and or coaches that have to go in every year. They have a minimum number, okay? And that means that there are, and I'm not saying that they've diluted the people that go in. It's just that from a number standpoint, I wish baseball would consider the same thing. There are a good number of people that when you look at their resumes, like Barry Bonds, yes, he should go in. Like Dave Parker, he should be in the Hall of Fame. And when you get down the line, people like Jim Leland should be in the Hall of Fame. I get very frustrated, by this discussion because there are people that when they talk about the NFL and Steelers that should be going in the Hall of Fame, there seems to be not a double standard, but people forget that there are different rules and different barometers that impact what we're talking about here.
Greg, some input from you?
Well, I agree with Lanny, of course, and I said, we were just talking, Lanny, before that break, that I think it's absurd. We talked about, Bill, that Steve Blass, Lanny Fratteri, now having did Vin Scully ever vote for a Hall of Famer? I don't understand, Lanny, how guys could be retired for decades, writers who, I don't know this for a fact, but probably don't watch but a handful of baseball games these days, and they're voting on Hall of Fame baseball players. That's absurd also, in my opinion.
Well, and here's the other problem that nobody wants to address. When you look back, let's go ahead 10 years or 15 years, okay? And the people that are in love with baseball look back and say, wait a minute, you mean to tell me Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame? You mean to tell me Sammy Sosa's not in the Hall of Fame? Mark McGuire's not in the Hall of Fame? Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame? Well, then what is the barometer again? What are we talking about here? What is the value of this Hall of Fame if the best people in the game are not even anywhere close to being part of it?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Hey guys, how about this name? Because it's come up a lot. I paid $2.50 to get the Post-Gazette. Monday's edition had a story about Danny Murtaugh. Should Danny Murtaugh be in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, well, of course he should.
Okay, I agree with you.
But again, remember, when you've got this limit, okay, where you have to get X number of votes, all right, You have to get X number of votes to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And there is no minimum number of players that can get in every year, okay? And then you got these pompous sports writers, okay? And there are some of them in Pittsburgh that are pompous about their moral,
I love it.
their moral standards, all right? When in essence they refuse to go back. You know, those of us that, like Greg Brown and myself, okay, those of us that had the opportunity to be major league announcers, okay, one of the things we never lost sight of the fact is that we were part of a tradition that started with great guys like Vin Scully and Mel Allen and Red Barber, et cetera, et cetera. And now let's go back and you mean to tell me that the sports writers of the 50s and 60s that were traveling on the trains with these players, were drinking with these players, had a better sense, and where was, they weren't going to give you this moral code, okay, this moral pompous attitude, because they knew they'd be hypocrites.
Wow. Greg?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
He's spot on.
Yeah, you hit a home run, Lanny.
Well, and don't get me started about the writing. I mean, Greg knows this too, okay? When it comes to following baseball teams, all right? Yeah. And we had this happen in Pittsburgh not too long ago during my tenure, okay? We had guys that were Pirate players, and the writers were covering for them because the writers were using these players as their sources. And they knew some stories that were going on in the clubhouse. They didn't write them because it involved players that were the sources for the writers.
Yeah. I can say yes to that.
Yeah, that's,
You're right.
I'm not sure it still goes on to a degree, even though they've not been in the clubhouse for a couple of years, but it still goes on everywhere, I'm sure.
Could Murtaugh be on that Veterans Committee? Could he be?
What's that again?
Could Murtaugh end up on that Veterans Committee?
Well, I certainly hope so.
Okay.
I certainly hope so. But we go through these discussions all the time, and it's, I guess I say it's the same argument. I mean, why are you worried? I mean, I hate to belabor this point, but Bill, what are we going to do about Sammy Sosa and Roger Clemens and Mark McGwire and these guys? Okay. We had people pay money to watch them go and break records.
That's true.
And now we're telling these people that the money you spent to watch these people break records was wasted because that didn't mean anything?
Lanny, Greg, what about Pete Rose?
Oh, well, the whole gambling thing now in baseball is so absurd. It's so hypocritical.
Yeah, you can bet on anything now,
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I mean, first of all, what he did on the field, okay, was a true product of his talents, okay? He broke the all-time hits record. Had nothing to do with his gambling or whatever. If he's guilty of that, then he should be denied an opportunity to be a part of baseball from now on, and he has been. Mm-hmm. But as to whether he should be in the Hall of Fame or not, but he didn't do anything illegal that enhanced his ability. I mean, not that I know of, to enhance his ability to get the most number of hits in the history of baseball.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay?
right.
And if you want to, and again, remember, if you want to talk about, again, these people, particularly, whether it's sports writers or whether it's the ESPN pompous guys, that the guys back in the 50s and 60s cheated. Okay, players took greenies all the time. Was that legal? Should that have been allowed? You can take amphetamines to get yourself ready for a baseball game because you were out late drinking the night before?
Oh, yeah. You're hitting it right. Boy, that's another home run. How about Gaylord Perry? Did he do anything wrong?
Well, he did, okay? But the point of the matter is that he did it within the context of what, the mentality of, he didn't get, let's put it this way. When he was cheating and he was doctoring the baseball, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did they throw him out of the sport? No. Did they suspend him for a large number of games? Not that I recall.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, back to my point before about it was okay to get people to buy tickets to watch cheaters, but now it's a different story.
Hey, guys, we're at the bottom of the hour. Lanny, can you hang on? We'll talk about Waynesburg and what they did 55 years ago. Greg, did you like the surprise?
I loved it. I love hearing from Lanny Kateri.
Well, I know last week we surprised you with Mike Berger. That was a pretty cool
Yeah,
show.
that's right. Yep.
And
yep.
you know, I got high listening to you guys because I got to know Bob Prince, a great one. Spent a lot of time with Lanny Ferteri and Greg Brown, a trio of great broadcasters for Pirate Baseball. You guys make it. Yeah.
Hey, one more thing, okay, before Greg goes.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Think about this. Think about this. What are they doing in hockey television now? They're superimposing commercials on the ice and on the dasher boards, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are when the Penguins are on the road, there's a Giant Eagle logo up in Minneapolis that's superimposed from the studio, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when baseball decides to do commercials, advertising between home plate and first base, and between first base and second base, and out in shallow center field? Is that the next step? We're gonna have logos of companies superimposed by television.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, it's there now. I mean, behind, when you see any game from high home, you look behind home plate, those dasher boards, those are all superimposed, including MGM betting.
And they're superimposed on the ice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when are
we gonna do that in baseball? And of course, the thing is now, in the old days, the writers used to take broadcasters to task for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, they used to criticize baseball announcers because we had to do commercials between pitches and all that stuff. Well, of course, now the newspaper has an advertisement on the front page. Okay, that's okay. And the other thing is, there's no reason that the sports writers are going to criticize the advertising because they're now in broadcasting. They're not broadcasting.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Now they're broadcasters.
Yeah.
So they're not going to criticize the advertising because they're not broadcasters, and they're the ones getting on the air and promoting these products too.
All right. Hey, fellas, I'm at the bottom of the hour. Greg, good stuff. Agree?
Thank you, Bill. Great
All
talking to you, Lanny.
All right.
Greg, always great to see you, sir.
Lanny, can we put you on hold for about 4 minutes?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Good stuff, Lanny. Great stuff. I just enjoyed sitting back. Like I said, I got high listening to these guys because I knew Bob Prince. I got to know Lanny when he started working with the Pirates in '76. And, of course, Greg Brown, we go way back. 3 quality people, and I'm just fortunate that I got to know all of them. We'll be right back with Lanny out of Waynesburg University. He's one hell of a teacher. I know, because I have a lot of his students working for me. We'll be right back.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. There is a new development today from a Tuesday road rage incident on I-81 in Berkeley County.
Berkeley County Sheriff Nathan Harmon says investigators have charged 66-year-old Harold Rue of Gwinnett, Georgia, in the early morning shooting on I-81 near Marlow. He's been charged with 1 count of murder and is currently being held in Pennsylvania, awaiting extradition back to West Virginia. Investigators believe the 2 drivers pulled off at the 23-mile marker onto the shoulder of the interstate after a road rage incident between the 2. Rue reportedly fled the scene after shooting the other trucker and traveled northbound on I-81. He was taken into custody a short time later in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. The victim has been identified as 29-year-old Reynaldo Gonzalez Mediavilla of Hialeah, Florida. In Martinsburg, I'm Marcia Kovalik, WVMetroNews.com.
Active cases of COVID-19 have now reached their highest level in West Virginia in 2 months. Today's report from the DHHR shows 1,182 new cases, and that brings the new total of active cases up to 8,857. There were 4,500 cases Thanksgiving Day. Officials say 593 patients are hospitalized, 205 in ICU, and they continue to worry about a new surge as the winter sets in. The Marshall Board of Governors is meeting today in Huntington. This is the final meeting for outgoing President Jerome Gilbert. New President Brad Smith takes over next month. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Martinsburg High School senior Hudson Clement is the Metro News High School Football Player of the Year. Clement played wide receiver and safety for the Bulldogs, who claimed the Class AAA championship for a 9th time last Saturday in Wheeling. In that game, Clement led his team with a record 8 touchdowns in the game against Huntington. During the season, he caught 87 passes for 1,709 yards and 23 touchdowns. Clement received 13 of the 20 first-place votes. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Tiger Woods said yesterday he will play with his 12-year-old son Charlie next week in the PNC Championship. The 36-hole event begins December 18th in Orlando and is for major champions and a family member. Last year, Woods and Charlie tied for 7th. It was the last time he played competitively before his February 23rd car crash that had him hospitalized and led to months of rehab for his right leg and foot. Last week, Woods said he had a long way to go before he would be ready for PGA Tour golf, but acknowledged that hit and giggle events could work. Woods will be allowed to use a golf cart. A new NFL week gets underway tonight on Thursday Night Football. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Minnesota Vikings. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog.
Velvety paper feel, exquisite colors, stunning scale. At Staples, we sweat the details and quality of every print project. Stop by Staples and try our Print Big Promise. We're committed to getting your print job right, to treating your small business like a big deal, and guiding you from start to finish. Get 20% off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends January 1st. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples, where small business prints big.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
This holiday season, give family and friends the gift of a night out at West Banco Arena and Capitol Theater. With tickets and gift certificate offerings, there's something for everyone. Call 304-233-7000. That's 304-233-7000.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
Highland Sports Complex is the coolest destination for sports and entertainment the Ohio Valley has ever seen. Pop in for some open basketball in our field house or reserve some turf time for your next practice or game on our synthetic fields. Online registration is open for development classes and leagues for youth and adults. Highland Sports is also the hottest destination for birthday parties and other events. So come challenge yourself on our play climb and enjoy your favorite virtual reality game in the arcade. No memberships required, so visit highlandsports.com to find your next entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Toyotathon is on, making now the best time to reserve one of the all-new additions to the 22 Toyota lineup, like the first ever Corolla Cross with available all-wheel drive and more space and efficiency than ever, or the all-new redesigned Tundra with uncompromising full-size power. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. But hurry, Toyotathon ends January 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, Toppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talkline. We'll talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia, top political figures, sports personalities, sometimes just plain folks offering their opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around, get around, round, round, 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 I get around. I'm getting bugged driving up and down the same old strip. I gotta find a new place where the kids are hip. Getting real well known, yeah, the bad guys know us and they leave us alone. I get around, round, round, I get around.
Exit 1, Greg Brown. Back to return to talk about Waynesburg. The pride of the Waynesburg as far as teaching is concerned, because I know a lot of his students, and I heard a lot of kind words about their professor, instructor, Lanny Fratteri. Lanny, it's good to be back with you. This time, instead of talking about the Hall of Fame, let's talk about that once-in-a-lifetime situation that took place 55 years ago when Waynesburg made believers out of everybody when they won a national championship, NAIA. And of course, I remember I got to present what players were left a few years ago when we inducted that team in our Hall of Fame in Washington, Pennsylvania, and I got a chance to meet Joe Rigetti. I had a chance to meet Don Herman. I mean, you're talking about future Hall of Famers that played on that 66 team. Now you can take off and talk about Waynesburg football.
Well, let me tell you, it's been a significant week at Waynesburg for a number of reasons. We just a couple of days ago named Dr. Cornelius Coleman as the new head coach here at Waynesburg, and what a resume Dr. Coleman has. He's been at Duquesne and Pitt, Robert Morris, a school in Virginia, was a four-year letterman and defensive player at Waynesburg back in the late 1990s. And to follow up on what you're talking about, it was known as Waynesburg College back in 1966 when Carl DePasqua took over. It was his first year as head coach. And by the way, Carl went on to coach the Steelers with the Steelers and with Pitt. And an 11-0 season with the win over Wisconsin State Whitewater in the championship game in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you've mentioned a couple of players from that team, Herman and Dave Smith and Rigetti, that went on and played in the NFL. We've been blessed here at Waynesburg to have a number of championships. As you know, Bill, Rudy Marisa, longtime basketball coach here, with some remarkable numbers and championship seasons as well. So in 1966, I was my senior year of high school, so I can't say that I was anywhere close to Waynesburg at the time, but we're real proud of the heritage of our sports teams here at Waynesburg. And by the way, just to correct you a little bit, when you refer to me as the pride of Waynesburg, there are a lot more men and women on this campus with better resumes as it relates to teaching than me, but I am proud of the fact that we've got an outstanding sports broadcasting program here, and I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Well, you know, Biff Leonard, he has 5 jobs here. He's like executive producer. He went to Waynesburg. And I know working with the Wild Things, I think all of our interns or part-timers, Waynesburg, you know. Bill Hillgrove's grandson is a good kid, and I think he's working at a station we're not affiliated with. I can't mention Channel 9, but he's working there with a couple of people from Waynesburg who worked at the Wild Things office.
Well, we have nine former Waynesburg people that are at that station with Don Sloan. But yeah, you're right. We've you know, and by the way, while we're talking football, by the way, let me just throw this in. You know who should be the next voice of the Steelers after Bill Hillgrove decides to retire?
No.
Tony Caridi.
Oh, okay.
Outstanding football play-by-play announcer. And there is, of course, a precedent for that. Jack Fleming, West Virginia, Steeler voice.
Great guy.
Tony Caridi should be the next voice of the Steelers.
Every time I go to North Carolina to visit the only brother-in-law I really care about, I have to cross the Jack Fleming Bridge, and I slow down. I slow down on that bridge. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he had a lot of jobs. He was a voice of the Steelers. He would do Chicago Bulls TV, and he would do some sports on WTAE. You know, he was.
Let me go back to the '66 team. Did you tell me that Donnie Cameron was on that team?
Yes.
I've known Donnie a number of years, and of course the Cameron name is part of Washington and Jefferson on that great stadium they have there for the.
I don't know what position Donnie played, but he always reminded me that he has a ring, so it doesn't matter. He played on a great team with great players. You know, in that game, I think it was New Mexico Highlands jumped all over the Jackets. They led 20-0 late in the second quarter. You know, that team they should make a Hollywood movie out of. Yeah, they came back. They had one kid, Rich Dahar. I hope I got that right. Dahar, D-A-H-A-R. He had carried the ball 41 times for 233 yards. You don't see that anymore.
Well, 66. There wasn't much passing back then,
No,
was
that-
there? I mean,
you're right.
Wasn't
You're right.
the old attitude? Wasn't the old attitude there? Is that when you pass the ball, three things can happen, two of them are bad?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Who said about you run the ball? Vince Lombardi said something about a cloud of dust because Jerry Kramer in his book talked about 3 yards in a cloud of dust under Coach Lombardi. Bart Starr wanted to throw the ball all the time, and Vince said, "No, you're not in charge of the team." So, they ran the ball.
How about the Patriots? How about the Patriots the other day? Ran the ball or threw the ball 3 times, right?
Yep, 46 running plays. Do you think Belichick knows what he's doing? I think so. I think so. And Rudy Marisa, I had him for a study hall teacher. He was not the nicest guy in the world. He caught me reading the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette because I used to go in the
then
library.
he had a right to criticize you
Yeah,
for
but
that.
it was study hall. I was studying sports. He made me sit on the wall 3 bricks high without a chair for an hour. You know how sore my rear end was?
Well, Bill, let me tell you something, Bill. There are times when you come across people in your life, and if they tell you you're wrong, they are so impressive, those people, that you know you are wrong. Like Jimmy Leland, okay?
Yeah.
When Jimmy Leland tells you something,
yep.
and if you're not in agreement with Jimmy, then there's something wrong with you, because they don't come much better than Jimmy, and he's got a pretty solid idea about how one should conduct themselves during their time on Earth.
Yeah. He's forgiven me for when they brought him in, introduced him, and I stood up and I told him who I was working with. Sports called, and I said, "What is a Jim Leland?" Because nobody really knew about him. We knew that he worked with Tony La Russa in Chicago, but, now I know who he is, but he didn't hold it against me, because if you get him with, who was the guy that hit the home run at PNC Park? Cincinnati, the first home run. He's on TV.
Oh, you mean Sean Casey?
So you get him, Sean Casey, and Blass on the same dais? You're going to wet your pants because you're going to they tell some great stories and you're laughing. But Leland's one of the greats, and he should have a Hall of Fame vote. He should have a Hall of Fame vote. One more story on Rudy Marisi. Because I'm on the committee for the Hall of Fame, we also put him in the Hall of Fame. So up at his speech, he told a story about, what he did to me in study hall. And he said, "If you want to put me against the wall for an hour, I'd be happy to do it." And I said, "I can't do that, Coach." And here you just honored him, right? A couple weeks ago? He was honored in Waynesburg?
Well, he's been honored a lot of times down here, and of course the gymnasium is named for Rudy. And then recently his granddaughter star at Peters Township, tremendous basketball player there. Yes, so and a wonderful man. It's one of my treats down here in Waynesburg. I've had a chance to spend some time with Rudy.
Yeah. And I haven't talked to him for years, but you know what? We had an awful basketball team in the late 60s. I think my senior year or junior year, we won 2 games, but we made up for it because we had a great wrestling team. But when Rudy came in, that changed the whole complexion of the team. He made guys better than they should have been because he was a good teacher. Tough guy, good teacher.
Well, to a large, I got to admit to you, Bill, there are a number of times when I'm yelling at my students too.
No.
And if you care about them, I heard a great quote about a year ago. It said that students don't care about what a professor knows until the students know the professor cares. And I do. I yell at my students on a regular basis because there are things that I'm convinced they need to do to make themselves better, and this is the place. I dropped a real smart comment on my students the other day. I said, "You know what? College is not supposed to be easy."
No.
So some of you guys think it's supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be.
No.
So, that was nothing brilliant on my part, but I felt at that point they needed to hear that, particularly as we were approaching, and we're in finals week right now.
Yeah, okay. You know how I remember your name? You ready for this? And I think we've talked about this. You've talked about it. I'm driving somewhere in my radio, and Bob Prince introduced this guy from Ithaca. Ithaca, who was the voice of the Charleston Charlies. And he let you go on the air. I said, how impressive is that? Bob, would you call me, please?
Yeah, well, and you made a good point there, Bill, about the fact that when Bob put me on the air in 1974, he had no idea whether I had any ability or not. And you know the guy that, I know you remember this person, the guy that orchestrated me coming up to visit with Bob Prince was Bill Guilfoyle.
Oh.
And Bill Guilfoyle, one of the great human beings that God ever created, public relations director for the Pirates, just a remarkably solid individual, and he's the one that orchestrated that for me.
Yeah, he took care of me when I came here from Boston. When I would spend a couple of weeks in Bradenton, I didn't have a car. All my colleagues had to rent a car. You know what Bill Guilfoyle did for me? He rented me a bike, $1 a day. So I'm going down the street, to the ball field, and here's my buddies passing me up, waving, laughing because they have a rent-a-car, and I'm on a bicycle. And I told Bill Guilfoyle, I said, you know what? My legs are tired. He said, see, I got you in shape. But he was a classic guy. He was a classic guy.
Sally O'Leary, who for so many years was a valuable part of the Pirate front office. Sally once told me that in all the years she worked with Bill, and she was Bill's right-hand person, every time, at the end of the day, Bill always, at the end of every day, Bill went to her and thanked her for her help during the course of that day. Every day, Bill Guilfoyle did that.
Yeah, I know he was a soft-spoken guy, really nice guy. I don't think he ever raised his voice, and I didn't know he was a pretty good boxer at Notre Dame.
Just a remarkable person.
Yeah, he is. So how do you tell these young ones when it's really tough to get into the sports broadcasting business? How do you make them feel comfortable about their future?
Well, it's easier now, Bill, than it was when you and I were at those pivotal points in our lives. There are more opportunities now than there ever were. There are more networks, Big Ten Network, SEC Network, ACC Network. There are more teams that are broadcasting because they can use the internet and they don't have to have a radio station. They're really, believe me, look at what Don Rebel and Justin LeBar have done with the Trib Live High School Sports Network. A good number of the students that are either current students or former Waynesburg students that are working for Trib Live doing high school football, basketball, baseball, softball, other sports as well. There's no question. There is, without a doubt, more opportunities now for students to become sportscasters than ever before. The challenge is that, as you know, Bill, the industry requires that you go places to find those jobs, and it requires that you accept the fact that you are going to work weekends and you're going to work holidays, and you accept the fact that you're not going to make a lot of money when you first start out. But it is a profession that is so wonderful and is so gratifying when you do it, that it is, far better that you follow a path that includes a career in broadcasting than find yourself doing something that is monotonous and boring and, 9 to 5 all the time and driving to work in a traffic jam every morning and every night coming home. And, I've been blessed. Any of us that have been in broadcast, I've been really blessed, Bill, because, not only do I have a great career with the Pirates, but I've had this second career now with Waynesburg University, and I've done West Virginia sports, baseball and basketball, and I've done the Pony League World Series, and I've just, and I love announcing. I love announcing sports, and that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to get across to my students is that if you do the hard work, particularly in college, then there is a reward there if you work hard, and it does require a great deal of work.
Yeah. I remember when I came here, I didn't know anybody, but thanks to the Bill Guilfoyles, especially Joe Gordon and the Rooneys, who helped me set up a successful network for about 10, 15 years. I remember going to Monessen, Ringgold High School, and I did Joe Montana's last game on the radio. I got paid $15, Lanny, but I spent 10 of that 15 on gas because it was expensive back then. But the hot dogs in the press box were good. But that was great experience for somebody not knowing anybody, fresh in from Boston. So, yeah, I have a great memory on that too. But we've been fortunate, Lanny. The door's always been open, and we took advantage of it. We kicked the door in. Who said that?
Well,
Bum
I'd like
Phillips.
to think. Well, the reality being, Bill, that in my opinion, and what I'm trying to tell my students here is that you know, it's the old. Let me say this to you and to your audience. You know, there are a couple things that we hear a lot about in life. For example, the old adage about you got to be in the right place at the right time. Well, you know, the answer to that is if you're never anywhere, if you're never going out and doing the job and never going out and meeting people and you're never going out and knocking on doors, then you'll never be in the right place at the right time. Right. And the other thing too about it isn't what you know, it's who you know. Well, the reality is it's both, including the fact that, you know, everybody encourages young people to network and get out and meet people so that those people have a chance to get to know these young people and separate the ones that are really dedicated from the ones that aren't.
You know, I was taught in school at BU networking. I'm still networking at age 70. I'm still meeting a lot of people, you know. You never know. I might meet that billionaire CEO who wants to hire me to do something, whatever. But I'm still networking.
Well, and I'm 73 and I'm still doing a lot of announcing, and I'm blessed in that regard. And why wouldn't I be still announcing? Yeah. Because it's what I love to do. It's what I've always loved to do. So, and I'm fortunate because I was overpaid with the Pirates that I'm in a position financially where I don't have to do it for the money. I can do it for the love of doing it, and I am, you know, very blessed. And you know, same thing. One of the reasons I can take this Waynesbury job is because you know, the money I made as a Pirate broadcaster, and the fact that I was pretty smart with my money, afforded me the opportunity to take. It's not to say I'm underpaid at Waynesburg. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I didn't need a $200,000 job teaching somewhere. I needed a job that was well within the scope of what professors are being taught or being paid, and so that's what led me to. I've been here 13 years now, Bill.
Wow. Yeah, I got to come down because the last time I came down, I raised some eyebrows because I brought in my tape recorder as a kid, and the guys were looking at that, you know, and I talked about networking. So I think if I reached one of your students that day, fine. By the way, when you treated me to lunch, that was one of the best cheeseburgers I ever had. We got to do it again.
Indeed, Bill. I appreciate you asking me to be on the show, and I hope I've had some insights that have been worthwhile.
Okay. And I appreciate the fact of what you've done, not only when you come over to the Wild Things. I miss when you have the students there. Don't you usually have 25 or 30 students there practicing?
Yeah, we do, and our sports announcing camp, but unfortunately because of COVID and I understand, you know, why everybody is still, you know, gun shy about the COVID thing. By the way, you know, that's another thing that frustrates the heck out of me, by the way, Bill, as it relates to broadcasting. I'm disappointed that there aren't more people in broadcasting that are on a regular basis encouraging people to get vaccinated. Yeah. It is one of our responsibilities in broadcasting. Talk show hosts that are always pontificating about different subject matters, and at times they're afraid that, depending on where the station is located, they're afraid to tell their audience that they should go out and get vaccinated, because they're afraid that those people will now turn away from them and not listen to them. And that's cowardly.
Yeah, yeah. Are you ready for your say goodbye from Bill DeFabio, and we'll talk soon? You ready? Go, boy, get out of here, you know? I want to hear you say it. Can you say it?
Thanks, Bill. Go, Bill, get out of here, okay?
Oh, no, I'm not out of here. I got to stay another hour. Thank you, Lanny.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Class act. He's helped me a lot in my career. Yep. He's opened a few doors, too. We'll be right back. Who do we got coming up next? Oh, the Three Stooges.
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News,
I'm Michelle Franzen. COVID cases have increased in the U.S. more than 80% since late October, with new daily infections topping 117,000. The majority of those cases driven by the Delta variant, but Omicron, now detected in 20 states, is adding fuel. Today, the FDA signed off on expanding COVID booster shots to more teens.
With new evidence rolling in this week of just how helpful a third shot of the COVID vaccine can be in boosting antibodies, the FDA is now authorizing booster shots made by Pfizer for 16 and 17-year-olds. The CDC still has to okay it. That could come at any time. It's not yet clear if or when teens under 16 might be able to get a booster. Vaccinations for children as young as 5 began last month. A new study out this week found the side effects in children from getting the vaccine are rare and usually very mild. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The Attorney General of New York announcing she's bowing out of the race for governor.
Letitia James said she has come to the conclusion she must continue her work as Attorney General. She said she would run for re-election instead of for governor because there are a number of important investigations and cases that are underway, and she intends to finish the job. A source familiar with the matter told ABC News James is seeking to depose former President Trump next month as part of her office's civil investigation into his family real estate firm. At issue is the way the Trump Organization valued its holdings. The same property valuations are also under criminal investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and Trump has denied wrongdoing. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
The Senate has approved a one-time change to the filibuster rules. It's the first step to raise the debt limit ceiling before next week's deadline without Republican support. In Buffalo, New York, workers at Starbucks' own store have voted to unionize in that city. It's the first for the coffee chain, despite the company's objections. The National Labor Relations Board says it's still counting votes for 2 other stores. You're listening to ABC News.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you failed to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
In Minnesota, testimony continuing today in the trial of Kim Potter, the former police officer charged with killing Dante Wright, an unarmed black man, during a traffic stop earlier this year. On the stand today, Alana Albrecht Payton. She was Wright's girlfriend who was in the car with Wright.
He was really scared. I've never seen him like that before. Because if you know Dante like this, he's just really happy, he's positive, and you can't really be sad or depressed or angry or mad around him.
Potter told authorities she mistook her gun for her taser when she accidentally shot Wright. President Biden and leaders of Congress today honoring longtime Senator Bob Dole.
Military pallbearers carrying the flag-draped casket of longtime Kansas Senator Bob Dole into the Capitol. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle eulogizing the late senator. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
The real engine behind Bob's 98 remarkable years was his love.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
To pay tribute to Senator Bob Dole is to honor someone who redefined and elevated what it means to serve country.
Senator Dole's funeral will be Friday at the Washington National Cathedral. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Scientists say they've discovered one of the biggest planets ever found. It's believed to be 10 times bigger than Jupiter. This is ABC News.
My online sales are through the roof. Now I need to get these orders out the door.
It's possible with Staples Connect. Staples Connect has you covered with custom packing materials, shipping supplies, and services for your business and holiday shipping. Now buy 2, get 1 free on select premium shipping supplies. Plus get 25% off UPS Express shipping services. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Supplies offer ends 12/19/21. UPS offer ends 1/1/22. In-store only. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is
I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network. Ohio's total deaths from the coronavirus are now at 27,011, according to the State Department of Health. That's 7,000 deaths in the last 6 months. There are about 4,300 people hospitalized for COVID in Ohio, the highest since January. Nearly 700 of them are on ventilators. The Omicron variant has been found in 50 countries and at least 20 states. Ohio is not yet one of them. Charges have been filed against a middle school teacher at Southwestern City Schools in the Columbus suburb of Grove City for allegedly having sex with a student for several years. Yolanda Harris with ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus reports.
According to court documents, Norton Middle School language arts teacher Benjamin Rutan is charged with 2 counts of sexual battery and 1 count of unlawful conduct with a minor. The documents state between 2013 and 2018, Rutan began a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old girl. The victim said they had sex multiple times a week for 5 years, many times on school property. The district says Rutan is on paid administrative leave. I'm Yolanda Harris.
A significant warm-up begins tomorrow in Ohio. The National Weather Service says Ohio is in line for a week of temperatures of 50 and up. Even a couple of days in the 60s are possible in many areas. For more state news, go to onnradio.com. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on the Watchdog.
The Watchdog Network wants you to take time for yourself and your family this season and enjoy some of the events around our valley. Ogilvy Institute's Mansion Museum's holiday decorating exhibit, Holidays at the Mansion, is on display through January 9th. Admission is $10. 17 and under are free, accompanied by an adult. Call 242-7272 for more information. And happy holidays from the Watchdog.
This holiday season, give family and friends the gift of a night out at West Banco Arena and Capitol Theater. With tickets and gift certificate offerings, there's something for everyone. Call 304-233-7000. That's 304-233-7000.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
From the Watchdog, here is your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Clouds will be on the increase throughout the day with a high of 44. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 35. And for your Friday, expect cloudy conditions with a chance of afternoon showers and a high of 58. And that's your local weather forecast from the Watchdog.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
The rooms were so much colder then. My father was a soldier then, and times were very hard when I was young. When I was young, I smoked my first cigarette at 10, and for girls I had a bad yen, and I had quite a ball when I was young.
Oh, yeah. When I was young and in college, I was one of the Doobie Brothers.
You were?
I never sang, though. You get that?
I get it.
Yeah. We turned your cell phones off
Sorry.
They're off. They're face down.
I turn mine on. I hate it when I see people on cell phones while I'm working. You know what I mean?
Okay, Bill.
All right?
Wow. Man,
Okay, don't throw
listen,
your
listen.
phone around.
You know what? I get this thing. You can save $650 on ePhone or iPhone 13. This is a 6.
You
What
got
did
a
they come up
6?
with a 13?
Ugh.
Lola, what do you have?
It's 8.
8? I'm behind. What do you have?
I think I have a 10.
What do you have, Josh?
The 12. The 12 Pro.
What's the
Max.
difference between all those and what I have?
I don't know, man. Before that, I had the 10. And before that, I had the 4.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I didn't know they
I
were
don't-
expensive. $1,000 or something? I could save $650 and turn this one in?
Yeah, it's because they want all your old. No, I never do that.
No. Okay. Is that a good advice, Josh?
Yes, take that.
Because when you talk, I listen.
Good. So is, so is everybody else. For
Well,
for
you're
that fact.
intimidating. You know, you're
Good.
big, a little bit overweight. You're
That's all
big.
right.
You wear those
all
sunglasses
right.
like, is this a Harley guy? You know?
Or my cop, you don't know.
Yeah. Earlier in the
Mayor, who
sportscast,
knows?
which was about 12 years ago, a newscast, they found a planet seven times bigger than Jupiter. Now, do you have any friends or relatives on Jupiter that you can contact?
Not that I know of, but I've seen more pictures, man. I've been gone for like a month and a half from your show.
Well, don't tell me you saw more Northern Lights.
I
or
did.
whatever.
No. These. I sent it to him the night up.
Yeah.
Look, man, these things are in the sky. I don't know.
No, that's the
Yes.
fireworks from the Nailers.
No.
That has been happening.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got a bunch of pictures of that.
Is this your house?
No, that's somebody else's house.
Oh, okay. What's this light here?
I
That's
don't.
from their living room.
Look, no, look to the red light and stuff in the sky. Who knows? I don't know.
They're watching you, Bill.
There's a bunch of like.
I just got a message. Father Cell.
Yeah. My
Okay.
dad's texted me.
Show that to Lola, will you?
Let me see.
Oh yeah, I'll send it.
You know,
Yeah, I sent him this picture.
She believes in ghosts, Martians, you know. What do you think, Lola? That light. I think, Josh, you can superimpose that. What's that called?
No, I don't.
That's like...
These things were just floating up there, and I just started taking pictures.
Yeah, how do you know? You come in with so many floating whatever.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Oh, well.
I don't care. There's nothing in there.
Now we know why you hang around elementary schools.
Oh, jeez.
Show Lola. She'll be impressed. I didn't say that, did I? About
You did. Too late.
I didn't
Can
mean
you hit
that
the
far.
button yet?
No, somebody's going to say one of Bill's guests is hanging around an elementary school on the sidewalk offering girls candy and guys, whatever.
Who? Not me.
No.
not him.
That's why I had to clear that up.
I mean, I'm sure
Appreciate
somebody in this town, but not us.
Yeah.
That's not us, man.
No, man.
You know, when you guys make a mistake
Trust
at work,
me.
nobody knows about it, right? You know what I did last week? I thought the Army-Navy game was on Saturday. So I have Villanueva on, the former Steeler and the Ravens now. And I had Freddie Stuvak, who was the Navy quarterback at 71-73. We're all talking about the Army-Navy game that I thought was going to be played last Saturday. It's being played this Saturday.
A little early there, huh?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, it's
surprised.
all right, though.
I'm surprised. Usually when I make a mistake, and sometimes I give the wrong score, because somebody will call and say, DeFabio, you were off by 3.
Yeah.
That way I know someone's listening. So. Ugh. What do you think of those, Lola? This is like the X-Files with this guy.
Well, I'm glad somebody's out there watching our ass.
I mean, I live up on a ridge. Like I'm on
Yeah.
top of the hill. I can.
Yeah.
You know, it's clear sky. You know, all the time.
And you don't have an awful lot of ambient light by you.
No.
So it makes it a whole lot easier.
Well, Josh,
And trust me, if I ever find out somebody's hanging out elementary schools, I just throw them in the river. I don't.
I
put up
know
with
you
that.
would. I know you
Moving
would.
on to a different topic.
Yeah, let's go on another different. Do you sit on your porch
See,
waiting for the lights, the northern lights, or whatever they're called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or spaceships?
The winter solstice is coming up, and I'm going to be out of town, but that's going to be a good day.
Yeah. I can hear it now. Spaceship flies over your head, and you'll say, "Beam me up, Scotty." No, that's okay. You probably liked Star Trek as a kid.
No,
Wow.
I never watched any of that.
No.
Mm.
X-Files? No,
Mm.
no science fiction
Nope.
movies? Or yeah, okay. What do you watch, Josh?
Nothing. No TV.
TV free.
I don't watch no TV. He knows. I don't watch any television. He's been at my house.
You go to his house, he don't offer you a beer to watch Monday Night Football?
No, there's
Does he
definitely not
offer
Monday
you
Night
anything?
Football.
I haven't watched a football game in probably 10 years.
Just to see the Steelers lose, you check.
Oh yeah, now that's that last the Green Bay Packers when they beat them in the Super Bowl 2010.
Yeah.
That was glorious. That was awesome, and that was a good. That was the last game I think I won.
Wow. Why? You upset with what they make or the athletes make or what?
No, it's just they're.
He just hates the colors.
It's
yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, you don't
You know.
like the colors of the Steelers? Well, I like the Packers. I have 5 shares of stock, so I own part of Aaron
That's
Rodgers.
good.
But
His toe?
yeah,
his
yeah,
toe?
yeah, I never thought of that. No, 5 shares, his toenail. Yeah.
Wow.
I just got a thing where I could buy some more shares. $300 a share. Are you
Is that
kidding
what
me?
it is?
Yeah, it's really
That's
nothing.
insane.
It's
Yeah.
just a piece of paper, you know?
It's
I
just
have-
like buying a star.
Yeah,
You know,
I have
people buy
like
a star.
I have like 60 dividend checks, $1.25 or whatever. Boston Celtics. I never redeemed them. I made wallpaper out of it. Okay.
You know, of an idea I have, buying you a seat at the Capitol. You can buy a seat at the
I
Capitol
haven't done
Theater,
that.
and you can put your name
Can
on
I
the
write
plaque.
it off? I got a real smart CPA. I itemize everything.
I'm saying.
I buy Lola coffee or whatever, donuts. I save the receipt and turn them in.
Yeah.
Because she's like a client, so I can do that.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, right off everything.
Oh, I save a lot of money if I itemize everything because you know the mileage coming back and forth here, going to
Yep.
Pittsburgh. You know,
Yeah.
it helps a little bit. So it
But
helps.
if we pick your perfect seat where you have the best view of your 2 statue ladies that you can watch during the show, get your name on there in a gold plaque, Bill DeFabio.
Yeah, here's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
How much would that cost, Bill DeFabio?
There's definitely a price involved.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not too sure how much it costs, but
We'll get you a deal.
we'll hook you up.
Oh,
How
yeah.
about
We'll
if you-
just put Bill.
How about if
Every
you
letter.
find? How about if you find an artist and sculpture my body and put it next to hers? I mean, I'll wear skidos or skundos or whatever they're called, or BVDs. I could be up there forever with her. No?
Nah, man.
Oh, man, that is weird.
Trying to get people in the theater, not chase them out.
Yeah. Well, usually when I go up there now, there's nobody in there because I haven't been on a tour lately. But whatever. Speaking of the Grand Lady, here's a time for you guys to give us some input.
Okay.
All right. What's coming up at the Capitol Theater? Doo-Wop's going to be good. 2 Garys. Gary Puckett without the Union Gap, and Gary Lewis and Bill DeFabio and the Playboys.
Well, was
definitely
you,
gonna
was you
get
at the Motown this past Friday, the Motown Christmas? It was
No.
very good, yeah.
No.
Yeah, we just did a Motown.
Well, Ryan wasn't here to talk about it because he
He
was.
was busy, man. We was doing Symphony on Ice all
We've
last
been
week.
busy. And plus, we both had to battle COVID to come back.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
How
To
is
get
that?
there for
Everybody okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's good, yeah.
You had to worry with the babies, right? The kids?
Yeah, that made it a little bit struggle, but I mean, Josh is home with
By the way, you're going to be a
Yeah.
father for the 8th time?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
You
No.
sure?
I'm sure. Yeah.
We won't go there. Josh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you had COVID. Did you tell me you had COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
out.
think so.
I was out for a couple weeks.
All right. What's
It's a
that
blast.
like, guys? Maybe I'm immune or something. I get shots and everything, but I don't know. I'm around a lot of people. Security, broadcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
that beard
can't-
probably has COVID in it somewhere. That beard's getting a little wild there, Bill. You letting it go?
Well, my guy's back. My barber, Mr. Greek.
You work across the street?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's starting to take customers again because you know what they did to his street, you know. Yeah, a knee trimmed.
I think it's cool. It's wintertime. Santa Claus.
You like
Yeah.
me with or without?
I don't have a preference.
Well, let's ask the lady.
Lola?
Lola, you like me with or without the beard?
If you would trim it, you let your neck get all hairy and ugh, that looks icky. That looks
Well, what
like
about mine? So mine does mine.
Yeah,
look-
what about his
mine?
he's
See.
young.
Oh, I'm young.
Yeah. So you're saying I'm old, Lola?
Yeah.
You look like a dirty old man.
Oh, talking about hanging out at schools and stuff. Okay, sure, whatever.
The one thing I like about Lola, and sometimes I don't like her, you know, and she don't like me, she's
right.
honest.
Well,
She's an honest lady. They're hard to find.
yeah.
Anybody out there want to come and work for me, you got to be honest. With me, not for me. With me. No. She's a good girl. As my uncle used to say in his Italian, you got to find a good girl. Yeah, they're hard.
Where's the Wi-Fi? Is what I know in Italian.
The Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi.
What's a Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi.
Oh.
They say the Wi-Fi. And stu nord. You stu nord. I learned that at the Italian Fest a couple years ago.
Calzone.
Yeah.
But you know what? I haven't had, what's his name from Burgestown? Charlie Papasan. I'm starting to forget names.
That's not good. You got COVID. Oh man, brain fog. I tell you what, brain fog comes with this, and you gotta like mentally keep back. Yeah, seriously, it's a
Lola, you
struggle.
ever hear of brain fog?
Yes.
You think I have brain fog? Be honest, Lola.
You do.
Ryan, stop it.
Brain fog. I got to Google that.
Look it up.
I'll Google
Look it
that.
up.
My name's on it.
Google Magic, man. Get
Yeah,
that.
okay. What else is happening at the wonderful Capitol?
December 18th, Saturday, is the Christmas Cirque show.
The Cirque du Soleil, yeah.
Cirque du Soleil, yeah. That's going to be fun. And then the very next day is the Christmas in the Valley with the Ron Retzer Trio in the 1170 band.
Oh, yeah.
Classic
So that's
show,
going to be a
can't
real
beat
good
it,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's on the 18th? Because I got a basketball game to do at Wheeling. Maybe I'll just come down here at night. What's happening?
It's that Broadway. It's like the Broadway, part of the Broadway series, the Cirque Christmas.
Okay.
And
It's a
then-
Broadway on a Saturday, which is pretty.
Which is rare.
Yeah.
Do I have to pay it, or I mention your names?
Yeah, you have to. That's not
Yeah.
gonna get you far.
No.
Yeah, get me in. Back door. You'd let Lola in the front door, but no, I got to go through the back door. Does that make any
Because I
sense?
have
that beard
tickets.
Yeah, we don't. Well, you.
I'm legitimately
Well.
a customer.
Yeah, the
Oh,
problem is you look
that
like
is a-
you.
Do you know who I am?
Wow.
no.
You've told us many times, Bill.
I got that from Tony La Russa when he said that on
Yeah.
whatever. You remember he got a ticket? And he said, "You know who I am?" I
Yeah.
could never do that. The one time I did know that, the guy said to me, the policeman, true story. I was speeding. I was ready to get, what is it, not a ticket, but a, what do they call it?
Little warning.
Warning, that's
Yeah.
it. And he said, radio station, you know Lola? I goes, yeah. Oh, have a good day. And he let me
Oh,
go.
wow.
Yeah. Tell you what, she's well known and liked. She's been around too, you know? Everybody knows her. Okay. You want
But
to know the
then,
first time I met Lola?
Tell me.
I called to be on whoever the host was at the show. And I said, Lola, and I started to do the Kinks thing, right? K-L-O-L, whatever it is. They have a song, Lola. And she goes, you don't think I've heard that before? And I said to myself, I'm glad I'm not working with this girl. I come in here, guess who I'm working with?
Yep.
Lola. Yeah. So we never play that song by the Kinks, okay?
Good call.
Good call. Oh, yeah, I'm smart.
Smart man.
Good.
She's from Michigan, too. I learned a long time ago. Tough people come from Michigan, all right? All right.
Yeah. But this
December-
weekend, though, tomorrow we have the
Tomorrow's Friday.
the Sam Andy basketball tournament at the arena.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's 3 local high school games. I know it's Lindsley and Weirton.
Okay. Wheeling Central and Park got to be in it, too, right?
I think so. I think Park's involved because
It's Park versus Capital, which I'm
Yeah.
not too sure where Capital is from.
Maybe
know
they're
what else?
maybe they're playing the Ushers from the Capitol Theater.
Hey,
There
that'd
you
be
go.
a good game.
Yeah, well, those guys are in
That'd be-
wheelchairs, aren't they? I don't know.
Well, most of them.
I got to tell you guys this. I tell this to Denny. Where is he? Is he in Colorado somewhere?
yeah.
Yeah,
He takes more trips.
He's seeing that guy's seeing the world.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Every time I call, he's on a trip. You know?
He's running out of places to tell you when you call.
Yeah.
Now in college,
That's actually what it really is. We stood
be
next
in
to him,
Greece next
and
week,
when-
Bill.
when that door opens, when he goes, hey, I'm in Chicago, and then he hangs up, and
I
it's great.
called him one time, and he says,
We're standing right there next to him,
I'm at a
and we hear it.
restaurant. I'm at a restaurant, and I look across the ocean or river or whatever it is. I see Alcatraz. I didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
He was at a place where they have all the great seafood places, you know?
Oh, right.
What's
Yeah.
that called? What's it-
Like Wharf.
Fisherman's Wharf.
But yeah.
Yeah, Lola's been there. No, she hasn't. You've never been to California, have you, Lola? No? Okay. I win the
I have
lottery.
no desire to go to California.
I win the lottery, I make sure is a round-trip ticket for you and Linda. How's that?
Why?
What? Do you play?
I want to take care of you. I got to spend the millions of dollars.
Just give it to me in cash.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those women. Yeah.
Cash from the dash, man.
Yeah. And I was going to send her to like L.A., San Diego. I got friends at the zoo, you know. They're four-legged, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, I was trying to be nice. If I
Man.
give her cash, she'll be happy, you know.
Cash is king.
Yeah, and if it's a lot of money, I got to give her $1 million because I'm on record of saying that. It's got to be a lot of money. Unfortunately, I opened my mouth. If the Nailers win the cup, I got to jump off the bridge.
No, you got
I don't know how I'm going to get around that.
They're
Well, it's because
playing pretty good.
they're probably not going to ever get.
I like the start they're in, you know. I like Army. You guys like Army?
I do, yeah. I mean, they're playing
Sure.
pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I met the guy. He was in here, the Zamboni driver, and then he's gone.
Dubber, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was a homeless guy.
He moved on to the city, yeah. So.
Because I called, a DJ was here, and I said, where'd you pick up this homeless guy? He goes, well, I'm a Zamboni driver. Okay.
I
He's
think you
gone.
were a little scared at first.
Yeah, I
When
was.
we brought him in.
You don't know who's going to walk through that door, like him.
Yeah, Elvis, you never know.
I've been here for many years.
Don't mention that guy to me.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Elvis's son.
It's funny.
I've heard about that.
Oh, yeah, and he went down the rundown, you know, he was talking about the record label. He was talking about, you know, people think that, you know, my dad died on the toilet seats. Things I didn't want to hear. things I didn't want to hear. Then he said, I'll be in contact with you. I haven't heard from him since.
Lucky you.
Yeah. And I think he went to the restaurant and put everything on my tab. Because Jason wanted to talk to me after that. He said, you buy these guys drinks and stuff? I goes, no. He said, well, your name's on the tab. So we had to negotiate that. But you talk about a phony baloney. Yeah, but he came in when he wasn't supposed to come in, and he brought an entourage with him.
Yeah,
You know, I was
that's
looking
how-
for
that's how the king.
I thought I was looking for Michael Jackson, too. He's going to come in. Jeez. But that's, yeah, he pulled my string. It worked for a while. It worked for a while. He looked good, you know. He looked
Yeah.
like, well, whatever. There's so many Elvis impersonators, you know what I mean? Yeah. Did you ever have an impersonator at Capitol?
No.
No?
No.
Not Elvis, no.
What Broadway show Lola's December 18th?
Cirque
The
du
Cirque.
Soleil. Yeah,
The
Cirque
Cirque
du Soleil
Christmas.
Yep.
Cirque du Soleil Christmas.
So they do all the different like acrobats and
The Christmas music. Yeah. It's gonna be. It's cool.
a little artsy for you.
It's not a takeoff on the Christmas Story with that one-legged lamp?
No.
No, I mean
Yeah.
maybe in there. I don't.
Yeah. You know, since I don't have
Possible.
the girls in my,
You got the lamp.
I got the lamp, yeah. I turn it on and off. No,
And you have Big Boy in the front yard.
oh, I should have taken that. I wanted,
Fragile.
yeah. I could have got
What?
that for $200 and a KFC bucket. Can you imagine that in my front yard? Everybody, no, I won't go there. I won't go there. But yeah, that would have been cool. That would have made the neighbors mad. Yeah. The neighbors didn't like it when I had 10 or 11 cars parked in front of their house too. You know, what are they going to do? They can't call the police because there's no parking signs there. But you know, I've had a good run there in my neighborhood. They like me. Well, I think they like me. They tell me to my face they like me, but they probably turn around and say, "What a big time you put in." Don't say it, Josh. You know what it is. All right, what's happening at West Banco other than the basketball tournament?
So we got basketball tournament Friday.
Okay.
Which is.
That one day or a weekend?
Yep, it's just Friday.
Three games on Friday. When's the first game?
At 4:30. So the doors open at 3:30.
Okay. That's an hour before the game, Josh.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah, I won't be there, but thanks for. Yeah, I know.
I give you a plug. Yeah,
Thanks,
you're
man.
only there when the ice breaks, right?
No, I'm not even there. No.
That hasn't happened again, has it?
We had one incident over the season so far, but yeah. But they were able to patch it up and got the game played, and it ended up going to overtime, which made everyone real nervous because even more time played on the ice.
Yeah. I still have a picture of Denny.
Don't touch your phone.
Yeah, you said no phones, man.
Yeah, but it's not on.
I don't care. You said no phones. Jeez, man. I mean, it's your rules.
You're a co-host. I got to listen.
Oh,
to
okay.
you.
Well, okay. Yeah, rules and windows.
You want to send me home? I'll go.
Yeah. Is it a picture of Denny holding what
Piece
possibly
of
could have
ice,
been the
yeah.
ice
Yeah.
bug that sucked the
Who took
Titanic?
that?
Yeah.
It's like this.
I don't know.
That is one of the best pictures in ice.
I'm thinking, does he stick that in his pocket? Does he put it down his pants? Whatever.
Yeah.
What a great picture.
Oh,
Then the baseball card. I got an offer of 50 cents now.
Hey, it's gone up.
Yeah, I should get an autograph.
It's inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
telling
was
you.
a good-looking young man. And now that he's old, I got to be careful. He's still a good-looking senior, you know what I mean? But he's always on the road. And another time I called him, he said, I just traveled on Route 66.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? It's like
Wow.
it's like maybe he should work for AAA. or, you know, the travel agency up the street.
Yeah.
He's been everywhere.
He is, and he remembers it all. He knows certain roads. You can mention a road, and like he will know what you're talking
Are you
about.
serious?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like
it's
he's
like
like he's like Google Maps, but
Yeah,
better.
he's like human.
Honest to
Google
God,
Maps.
yeah.
Has he ever been to like Europe or anything?
I know he went to Australia to teach a class, and him and his wife did the Sydney Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Like he walked the out top of it, like over top the whole big arch or
Oh,
whatever.
wow.
But yeah, that's as far as I think. he
There's a
went,
bigger
but-
bridge in Sarasota, the Sunshine Bridge or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But way up.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't do heights.
I used to go to Sarasota with the equipment manager, Hooley, John Houlihan of the Pirates, and he liked to drink. So, you know, he had all these tips. We must have made $400 or $500 because Chuck Noll, the manager, not Chuck Noll, Chuck Tanner, the manager, Tony, Lasorda, Tommy Lasorda, they all knew John, and he'd be on the phone getting tips. So we're coming home, about $500, mostly in his pocket, okay, but he had a lot of beer to drink. So we're weaving on that bridge like this, and I'm there, I'm gonna die. He says, I do this all the time. I goes, yeah, but this might be the one time that we go over. And here, about 3 or 4 months later, the bridge broke, and there was some lives lost in that. I get the heebie-jeebies thinking about it, you know? I get the heebie-jeebies in Kennywood. You won't find me on a roller coaster. I get the heebie-jeebies on the merry-go-round. You know what I mean? So maybe
Wow.
that's why no girls will go with me to Kennywood.
Yeah,
My
you're
juniors-
scared. Right?
Yeah, I mean, geez.
Can you
Okay.
imagine being in a tunnel of love? I'm in the dark.
You freaking
You know?
out, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be. Where'd she go? Oh, she left you because you wouldn't kiss her. Whatever. Wow. Can we take a break, guys?
Do whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Josh, your co-host. Can we take a break?
Yeah.
Okay. Lola, Josh says take a break. We're
Take
going
a
to take a
break.
break. With the
Take
Three
5.
Stooges. I'm Curly.
Yo.
The Mountaineers score a signature win. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Caridi. That story coming up on today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger.
Kroger knows this year the holidays are doubly important, so make your celebrations doubly special with fresh, never frozen, prime grade beef and Simple Truth organic Brussels sprouts. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Double specialness, void where prohibited. Certain restrictions. Wait, stop illegal. We've got even more special holiday food, like delicious king crab legs with private selection gourmet potatoes or cave aged Murray's cheese and fresh baked La Brea bread. Kroger, fresh for everyone. All right, legal. You're up. Double specialness, void where prohibited. Certain restrictions may apply. Shop at participating stores for more details. 42 million Americans struggle with hunger, yet 35% of the food in this country is wasted. Those aren't just numbers. They're our neighbors, your daughter's friend from school, the family of 4 next door. The Kroger Company's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste Foundation is committed to making fresh food accessible to all by ensuring it never goes to waste. Together, we can help end hunger. Learn more at zerohungerzerowastefoundation.org.
West Virginia records its first signature victory of the season as the Mountaineers advance to 8-1 on the year with a very gritty 56-53 victory over number 15 ranked Connecticut. It was the Big 12 against the Big East, but quite honestly, the game resembled an old Big East battle. Blue collar from the opening tip until the final buzzer. West Virginia led by 3 points at halftime, 32-29, scoring even in the second half. Some key statistics in this game. West Virginia's defense allowing Connecticut, a team that came in averaging 86 points per game, to just 53 points, keyed by West Virginia holding the Huskies to just 39% shooting from the field and just 14% from three-point range. Connecticut made just 3 of 21. West Virginia nearly ended its chances of winning the game by struggling at the foul line. The Mountaineers shooting just 44% at the line, making 12 out of 27. But in the end, key free throws down the final stretch gave West Virginia the victory. The Mountaineers led by Taz Sherman, who scored 23 points and was key all night long. Sean McNeil, the other double-figure scorer, he finished up with 16 points. With the victory, West Virginia now 8-1. Connecticut loses for just the second time this season. The Huskies, ranked 15 this week, are now 8-2. Next up for the Mountaineers, Sunday afternoon basketball at the Coliseum. West Virginia will entertain Kent State. Tip-off is set for 4 o'clock. Pre-game coverage on Mountaineer Sports Network will begin at 3. That is today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Tiger Woods said yesterday he will play with his 12-year-old son Charlie next week in the PNC Championship. The 36-hole event begins December 18th in Orlando and is for major champions and a family member. Last year, Woods and Charlie tied for 7th. It was the last time he played competitively before his February 23rd car crash that had him hospitalized and led to months of rehab for his right leg and foot. Last week, Woods said he had a long way to go before he would be ready for PGA Tour golf, but acknowledged that hit and giggle events could work. Woods will be allowed to use a golf cart. A new NFL week gets underway tonight on Thursday Night Football. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Minnesota Vikings. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog.
Velvety paper feel, exquisite colors, stunning scale. At Staples, we sweat the details and quality of every print project. Stop by Staples and try our Print Big Promise. We're committed to getting your print job right, to treating your small business like a big deal, and guiding you from start to finish. Get 20% off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends January 1st. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples, where small business prints big.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
It all comes down to this. Biden, Pelosi, and the extremists in Congress are on the verge of passing a multi-trillion-dollar spending spree, including taxpayer funding for abortion, even for painful late-term abortions. The only thing standing between us and their plans to bankrupt America and force West Virginians to pay for abortion is Senator Joe Manchin. Manchin is holding the line against their extreme socialist agenda. But Manchin is under incredible pressure from Washington liberals. Biden and Pelosi are intent on forcing West Virginians to pay for abortion on demand, even up to the moment of birth, when babies can feel excruciating pain. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 202-224-3954 and tell Manchin to keep standing strong. Stop their reckless spending and don't force West Virginians to pay for abortions. Paid for by Susan B. Anthony List.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kercheval inviting you to join me weekdays, 10 till noon for a statewide talk line. We talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. We talk with top political figures, sports personalities, and sometimes just us folks talking, all offering our opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Yeah. Got a phone call.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Oh, I noticed you guys brought drinks. Like, where's my coffee?
All right, Bill, you know I would have gotten it. You waited till I was standing outside talking to Lola, and then you call me.
So it's Lola's fault that I didn't get a coffee.
It's your fault.
No,
You should
it's
have
not.
texted me.
And the legend's on the phone.
Oh, I forgot it. Guys, we got to take a break. I got my bookie on. I mean, my odds maker on. Okay. Hey, Legend, are you there? Legend?
I am.
All right, I forgot.
That's hard to
I
believe.
think I texted you about 5 minutes to talk about the Steelers tonight. Are they
Okay.
underdogs, 3 points or 3.5? Has that changed?
Yeah, they're underdogs, 3 points.
Okay. Does that change with Cook, the running back, coming back from injury?
Yeah, well, no, not really, because Thielen's out, their wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, he's a good one, too. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Why will the Steelers lose before we talk about why will they win? Are you leaving, Josh? Okay. Josh got to go. I have a couple of guests here. One's leaving, so I had to say goodbye to him.
Goodbye, Wheeling. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye, Bill.
Hey, Josh, it's always a pleasure
Have a
to
good
have you
one.
on.
Yes.
I always expect the unexpected with
Merry
you.
Christmas. Happy
I
New
hope
Year.
you run into Martians soon, like you think they're around.
I'll call you.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You have pictures. Okay, Legend, why will the Steelers lose? We'll start with that.
Well, I don't think they have anybody to cover Justin Jefferson.
No, he's lights out, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's Minka. Minka Fitzpatrick.
And, well, of course, their tight end's pretty strong, too, Conklin.
Yeah, you're right there. But their quarterback, he'll throw about 4 completed passes and then 3 interceptions, you know?
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that he picks people up. I mean, he'll pick you apart.
Yeah, but they lost to the stupid Lions the other day, right? Oh,
That is correct.
They lost to Lola's Lions. The Lions deserve to win that. Okay, go ahead.
I have some last-minute information here for you.
Is this from your friends in Las Vegas?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is from Big Al.
Okay.
Minnesota is 1-9 against the spread. The last 10 games as a favorite. Wow. Pittsburgh, as a road dog, the last 18 are 13-5. But here's a good spot here with T.J. Watt. Their last 8, they are 6-2 straight up. But without T.J. Watt, they're 0-3-1.
What?
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. As I've always mentioned every week, the Week 14, this is Week 14. Through the last 7 years, Pittsburgh on Week 14 is 5-2.
How are they on Thursday Night Football? I bet you don't have that stat, legend.
No, I don't, as a matter of fact. I think, well, you know what? As a matter of fact, Mr. Fafavio, since you mentioned that, when Pittsburgh does play in a big game like last week, such as Baltimore, the last time they played was 2018, and I believe they played the Carolina Panthers, and they won that game 52-25.
Wow. Okay. All right. Why will the Steelers win? We already picked them to lose. Why will the Steelers win?
Well, being last week, I mean, if the Steelers would have, you know, if the tight end would have caught that ball at the end of the game or end of overtime, you figure they might have knocked them out of the playoffs, and that could have been a bad moment for Big Ben, you know.
Yeah. And if the Baltimore tight end, Andrews, he's made great catches, but, you know, that one he couldn't catch off his fingertips. I thought he was going to, like, bounce it to himself or whatever. But T.J. Watt had something to do with that when he rushed Lamar Jackson. So, you know, that's – and then, you know what? I haven't asked you. Did Harbaugh make the right decision going for 2? Would you have done that?
I would have done it in a minute because, you know, that like I said, that would have probably knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs, and it might have been the end of Big Ben. You know, they're being out of the playoffs. I guess you're going to start the backup quarterback.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And now, if the Steelers win tonight, they'll be 7-5, and everybody will be jumping back on the bandwagon, you know, with 4 games remaining. Okay, give me a score.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh 28-24.
Okay. All right. I got Minnesota. You ready?
I'm ready.
31-27. I think that's what.
Okay, we're a little opposite there.
Yeah.
But here's what you need here on Sunday. You need your Cleveland Browns.
They're not my Cleveland Browns. We carry the Cleveland Browns. I like to see them do well, but they're not mine. Yeah, they're mine. We're on this together. What about the Browns?
They're 1-point underdogs against the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. I just saw.
And
go ahead.
You got Baltimore lost a key member of their defense, Marlon Humphreys.
Oh yeah, they're cooked. You know, they've been They had a lifeline that gets shorter every week. It seems. 19 players on IR. Are you kidding me? Not that I feel sorry for them, but you know, all the teams have it. Something just came over about a half hour ago about the Browns. Did they lose somebody? An offensive lineman? Hold on.
Yeah, he's been out 2 games.
That's Conklin, but I think they lost somebody else. Hold on. Let me punch up cleveland.com here. There we go. I got to hit that button. That's Ravens. Their top tackler, say that 10 times, Bill. Walker? Yeah, he's one of the best. He's on COVID. Anthony Walker, he's real good.
Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he's on COVID-19 list. Wow. There we go. I think Cleveland's going to win that game. What do you think?
Well, their offense, unfortunately, the last 3 games has been struggling. They've only been averaging 10 points a game. Yeah. And Cleveland, the last 7 home games against Baltimore, they are 1-6 against the spread.
Whoa. You know, those 2 quarterbacks, I don't think Baltimore will ever win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. And I don't even know if Mayfield, you know, he's probably going to make a lot of commercials because down the road, I can't see. I guess next year they got to pay him a lot of money. I can't see that. But it should be an interesting matchup. Very interesting. I'm sure Steeler Nation would like to see the Ravens lose. And Cleveland Browns Nation, and it's huge, a win would make them 7-6. So I don't know who's going to win the AFC North, but it's something you and I can talk about. Maybe Friday. How about that?
Okay, sounds like a deal.
All right. I know you don't have any college games. Oh, you have Army-Navy, right?
Yeah, we have Army-Navy on Friday.
Did I tell you about my big boo-boo last week?
Yeah, you did mention a little bit of that.
Yeah, well, you know, I got that brain fog. You know what I mean?
It's a good brain fog.
I like that. A good brain fog.
The good kind.
The good kind. Hey, thank you. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
Be looking forward to it. Thank you.
All right. 31-27. Okay. All right.
There we go.
Yeah, I like
Steeler win on a short week, though.
Yeah.
And even a little extra short because it wasn't a 4 o'clock game
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Whatever, Then they expect a huge snowstorm.
Do they do?
Yeah, my guy, Ray Fittipaldo, he's leaving like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, good luck. But then Jay Caulfield used to tell me there's nothing wrong with Minnesota. They handle the snow and ice very well.
Yeah.
We know here we get 5 snow flurries and people go, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah. They can't drive,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Shut everything down.
Hey, they can't drive in North Carolina. I was there one year and they had like maybe an inch of snow.
Yeah, it shuts everything down,
It
right?
shuts everything
Yeah.
down, you know?
Yeah.
Even my brother-in-law, he could drive through anything. Oh, I'm not going out there. There's a half an inch of snow, you know, Brother Bill, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, they can't handle it down there. Whatever. All right. Well, I forgot about the legend. Sorry to take some of your time.
Hey, Bill, I'm just happy to be here.
We try to cram in as much as we can do.
Yeah, it's the fun hour.
Yeah, it is
That's
fun.
right.
It is fun, you know. I think we covered all of our bases. The Capitol. When's the doo-wop? I didn't ask you that.
Oh, jeez, I'm not going to remember when it is.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
want to look
at
on
my
your cell phone,
I'm
although
gonna
you're
have
not
to
allowed?
look. I'm
Okay.
not allowed. Can I have permission for this one?
Well, I just suspended myself for, you know, I'm taking myself off the air at 3 o'clock anyhow. I think is it March?
I was thinking April, but.
Yeah. What doo-wop is it? 19, 20?
This will be 20. This is a big one.
Oh, yeah. I think the Vogues are coming. Both Garys are coming. They're not from Gary, Indiana, by the way. Gary Puckett and Gary Lewis, okay? We've had both of them on the air. I like when Charlie gives me these numbers to have all these people on the air. It gives the people, whether they're going or not, a little bit of history lesson in rock and roll, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be April 23rd, which is Saturday. But yeah, we actually have a good little stretch of some good shows coming up with Dwight Yoakam was just announced.
Dwight Yoakam?
You know, remember Dwight?
Yeah.
What was that song?
I remember him from Y108.
Yeah, Dwight.
Never took his hat off.
He still doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know if he's bald or he's got scar marks. I don't know.
I think there might be a little. I think the hat helps.
No, when we had him at Star Lake, Jimmy Roach and I, we introduced the groups. He introduced Dwight because he was a star, you know?
Yeah.
So we had a star announcer and a star. And I watched him. He never took his hat off.
And it's a great show. And we had him a few years back, and I expected it to be kind of a chilled out crowd.
Not sold
no.
out?
Oh, it was packed. Everyone's up dancing. Like, I thought it was going to be more of a, relax, watch the show. No. People were up dancing and having a good time at Dwight last time.
Yeah.
Then we have Jefferson Starship. You
Yeah,
gotta be
but
a
how many
fan.
of the original people are coming?
Probably one.
Grace Slick? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
That's March 5th.
Yeah.
The Fifth Dimension. You like the Fifth Dimension?
Oh, yeah, they did a song about me.
Big
Wedding
March.
Bell Blues. Bill! We won't go there. Go ahead.
That's March 11th. And then Gary Allen, who's a country singer, had a few big hits. He'll be in on March 24th. And then we're finally going to have Trace Atkins after 2 years of putting that one off.
People
on
ask
May
me
4th.
about Trace, yeah.
It's
March 11th, the Fifth Dimension.
Fifth Dimension.
They were a great group. I've never seen them. I think they have 3 surviving members. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool Billy McCoy, whatever his name is. But I like the singer they had. So, yeah,
So
that's
we got
gonna
some
be
good music coming to the theater. Get that place livened up again with some
never a dull
sound. and-
moment.
No, we
20 doo-wops.
It's unreal, right? That's impressive. Honestly, it is.
I always ask Charlie,
Yeah.
Charlie, doo-wop 40. I mean, are we still going to have people from the 50s and 60s?
I think we're running out of them already,
Yeah,
aren't we?
well, we dwell in the 70s now, too, so you know, that's a good thing. But Charlie does a great job, and he's been walking on nails because, he's had to cancel a couple times.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's really not his full-time job.
Oh, no, he's got that lumber company.
Yeah, he's got a
Pappas
whole
Lumber,
company he
yeah.
runs that this is just his thing he loves to do.
Yeah.
And taking a risk every time you do it.
Yeah, because when I was building the porch and the wood was busy, he's the first guy I called. I said, can
Yeah.
you give me a discount on wood? He goes, no.
He
Okay.
couldn't. Yeah.
Wood was expensive. Now the prices come down.
Which I'm shocked. I thought I was going to stay up.
Oh, me
just
too.
forever.
It was
you
so
know what I mean?
expensive.
But
whatever. We got a nice porch out of it. She's happy. I'm happy. So,
everyone's happy.
yeah. No, but Charlie gave me a very stiff no. Because I'm sure it's costing him a lot of money, and he's got to pass it along to whatever.
Oh, no doubt.
And a lot
No
of my
doubt.
friends do business with it. What else are you going to do in Burgestown? Burgestown used to be the home of Billy Boy's Pizza. You know who was the owner?
Who's that?
Franco Harris.
Oh, cool.
The worst pizza I've ever had. The only thing worse is when I worked at a drive-in for 75 cents an hour and all the pizza I could eat.
Oh.
You ever have pizza at a drive-in?
I can't imagine.
Awful.
No good. Yeah.
Lola, you ever have pizza at a drive-in?
That would be a no.
How about a hot dog at a drive-in?
No, no.
Okay.
No.
Did you ever drink beer at a drive-in?
Absolutely.
In a cooler, though.
Yeah. Did you ever sneak like a couple of your friends in the trunk?
We used to put 4 people in the trunk of a Firebird.
Wow. Firebird, that's not a big car.
No, it's not.
Where were you, driver's seat?
No, I was in the trunk. You had to go with the little people, the smaller people.
Shucks, and then she got out of the trunk. She should have stayed there. But then I wouldn't have her to work here.
See?
You know?
Good thing. She didn't get trapped
Can
in
I
the
work here
trunk.
without her?
I think you would struggle with anybody else.
Yeah.
I do think you guys
Nobody
are
could
a good
straighten me out
match.
with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the
All right.
drive-ins, honestly, I was hoping they were going to have a little comeback. With COVID, it seemed like, drive-ins are going to start having movies, and now they're closing down again. The one in, our last one around here in Wintersville.
It's closed?
Last summer, it was the end of the
I used
summer.
to go to
yeah.
one in Short Creek.
There was one in
The
Short
airport,
Creek?
yeah.
Oh, in the airport? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Now it's a parking lot or a truck stop. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
But I'm familiar with Short Creek, Wellsburg,
Wellsburg,
Hayden
Iowa.
City. Yeah, my great aunt had relatives there. So
yeah.
And I'll tell you a story about a screen. I have a tendency to do crazy things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But there's a screen at Sunset in Claysville.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the swimming pool now is filled with cement because it closed. I could have had that screen if I could have found somebody to move it to the Wild Things. I called the owner, Stu Williams. Actually, I was in his suite eating food because it was free. And I'm saying, you know what? You're looking for a promotion item? How about if I get the Sunset Drive-In screen, we put it in the parking lot and you show movies?
Great idea.
Because you have money to spend it for, the speakers? No, all you have to do is get it on the radio. But then there's rights fees with certain movies.
But there's some that there's no rights fees for, though. Yeah. There's some that you can do, and some classics.
And Jason likes the idea of Night of the Living Dead upstairs.
Hey.
He really likes that. We might do it during Valentine's Day. We'll have
It doesn't have to be Halloween, yeah.
No, Valentine, yeah. Can you imagine zombies walking around the street?
It'd be beautiful.
Yeah, well, we hope none of them get shot. We got zombies on Main Street. No, they're going to River City to perform. Because we're offering money. I've donated that.
That's a
we'll
fun
have
night.
Food, yeah. We could get, how many people up in that 400 and something?
Oh,
wedding?
easily. Yeah, easily.
Yeah, he says we can
Pop
show
a screen
movies.
up.
We can have prizes. I think it'll be a great evening.
That's one of the nicest built, one of the best locations in the city.
Yeah.
River City Air Works.
Well, I slept overnight in his office.
Yeah.
Then I heard there was some murders there in the 50s.
Oh, I bet.
And Lola should go there with me. We
Yeah.
should stay at River City because I swear there were people talking in the hallway.
Mhm.
I didn't want to open the door.
Yeah.
And
it echoes in there, so
yeah.
You don't know where it's even coming from. Oh.
Yeah, don't ever stay there. I couldn't get a room elsewhere, or else I didn't want to pay. I figured I'll use his couch. I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. I didn't sleep. Oh.
Yeah.
It's scary there. All the doors are locked. I couldn't even get out. Until Chuck the chef came in, like early in the morning to do a banquet.
Saved you.
It was scary. I think there's some ghosts up at the McClure.
I'm sure.
The 7th floor? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay on the 6th floor where Marilyn Monroe slept or whatever,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was with the President Kennedy or not, how that story goes. But
Yeah.
is it when you're in the elevator, it takes an hour to go up?
Yeah.
Okay? There's a picture there of all the people that have slept there.
Hmm.
And Kennedy there, and Marilyn's there, so,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens to the McClure now that they're revamping it.
Yeah, you like the way they painted it? I think it looks brand new.
It looks brand new and bright, and I mean, it
Have you
sticks
been
out.
inside?
I've not been inside now, but curious what.
I want that huge chandelier.
It's beautiful, right?
It's got, 300 bulbs in it?
Yeah.
It's from the 20s. That's bigger than my house. But the McClure's looking good, new management,
Yep, cool, yeah,
it's-
I mean.
Charlie Pappas has his post-party there, or whatever, it's post-concert
Mm-hmm.
party, where you could hobnob with the people. Well, I've already interviewed half of those people. I go there for the free food.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
And beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Charlie knows how to do it.
Yeah.
And Denny's there usually, That's a great thing. It's a great thing you got up there,
Theater is the gem of the city up there, Capitol, and now we're going to have some music in there and some Broadway shows.
Hey,
and Symphony's back this year.
West Banco's a nice little facility.
It is great.
After
I
we
mean-
cleaned it up, I still remember cleaning gum from under the seats when we volunteered our services.
Ugh,
We were either painting or cleaning.
Yeah.
Somebody said, we need somebody to clean the seats. Well, I thought I was going to spray them off. I had to remove gum from underneath.
Yeah.
So whatever.
But the arenas can be so many different things. This morning I walked into an ice rink, and when I left to come up here, it was turned over to a basketball court for tomorrow.
Did you and
for
Josh
Sam.
have to do that?
We did do it, yeah.
How long does it take you? This is kind of like something for our listeners who are wondering. How long would it take you to go from ice to basketball?
Completely from ice. So we put down a black floor on top of the ice.
Okay.
And then take all the glass down around the ice.
Ugh.
And then it's in about, 4x4 sections of wood that we carry, and we pin them together and lock it together through the whole basketball court. So you're talking, 100 different panels you got to put together.
Yeah, but unlike PPG, you don't have 100 people working, do you?
No, we have about 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
It took us about 4 hours today, which is very impressive, I would think.
You did all that in 4 hours?
We did it all in 4 hours.
Was Malarkey there?
He was there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck right now. We got, just like everyone else has staffing issues, West Bank
You need
Arena
help?
is struggling as well. So that's another thing I should say. It is a great part-time job doing concessions with me, being an usher, being a door guard. You get to be
You
a
need
part
an
of
usher?
Ushering's a great job.
Is that like security I do?
No, ushering's when someone comes up needs help finding their seat, take
Oh,
their ticket.
And you
show-
you got a lot of great seniors down there. They're too nice.
They are, and it's a great little
They're too
part-time
nice.
job. You hang out, you get to watch the game.
Yeah, Sherry
You get-
McCutcheon, remember her?
Sure.
Great
She's-
lady,
yeah.
great lady.
She
Great
loved
lady.
doing it, loved it.
Her mom works
Loves
there.
doing it, yeah.
And she
Her mom-
smiles all the time. Oh, wow. Sign me up, 25 an hour?
Yeah.
I'll give half of it to Lola.
I don't think we have that in the budget, Bill.
Oh, okay.
But
You got
yeah,
the best popcorn and hot dogs, too.
I'll take
And
credit
they're
for
cheap,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, we keep everything affordable. We like to make it a family event down there, and so do the Nailers. This weekend's a great one. Saturday's Elf Night. Everyone will be dressed as elves and everything. Great time to bring your family. And the where they throw all the teddy bears on the first goal is scored.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone brings a teddy bear and throws it on. It's donated.
If somebody
So-
listening wants a part-time job,
Part-time job.
part-time job. I can't believe you said that. Will you stop it? That's 2 mistakes I made.
Yeah.
Part-time job. Who do they call?
Honestly, give us a call, 304-233-7000, or just stop down to the arena. Come
You
into
probably
the
hire
box
him on the
office.
spot.
Right now, you're hired. What's your name?
Yeah.
You're
okay,
hired.
Yeah. So for seniors out there, if you need Christmas money, there you go.
It's a great part-time gig.
Yeah.
It's all the events night. Most of our employees have another job, but they do this for a little side job. A lot of them are older, retired, who just for something to get out of the house, be a part of the event, get to check out the doo-wop.
Okay, here's a new deal.
Okay.
All right? I'll do it for $20 an hour, and I'll give Lola $10. So if I work 5 hours, that's $100. I give her $50.
Why don't we cut out Lola's money?
Why don't we just cut her out altogether? I'll go down there for $10.
You know what? I think we can maybe make something work out, Bill.
And then I'll take home some hot dogs and bring them to her for lunch.
Deal.
Okay, all right. I'm serious. I tell people in the Bird, they got the best popcorn. It's fresh. You don't get it bagged in like.
We don't. We make it all there, and then
And the hot dogs are great.
hot dogs great.
It's the only place where the hot dog's bigger than the bun.
Yeah, and we have great outside vendors in there too. River City,
Yeah.
Bocelli's Pizza, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, taco in the bag.
Yeah.
That's a big
So
thing.
really come to the arena and check it out.
Okay, this commercial brought to you by our good friend. What is your name again?
You do got the brain fog.
Ryan Tucker. Okay.
I was just watching your mind work, going
Yeah.
through everyone's
Well, I
name.
have trouble with Malarkey. I called him Mike because I knew the tight end for the Steelers. We
Mike
were good
Malarkey.
friends. Mike Malarkey.
Yeah.
And he'll remind me, Bill. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, when you get old like that, it happens, okay?
Oh, boy.
Hey, thanks for all the info. Give that
Definitely,
number
that was
again
fun.
for a job. Hurry up.
304-233-7000.
And tell them Bill sent you. No,
Maybe
don't.
not.
No, you won't get anybody. Lola, nice job on the board and your cooperation. Always great to talk to you,
Mike.
sir. Yeah, Mike. And what was the other guy's name? Denny.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Hoffa. He's alive and well in Wheeling. That's a great story. Mr. Nutting, spend that money you just made and increase that pirate payroll.